Hey, welcome to the Full 42. Today we're talking about our top 5 board games with best art or best board games with art. Yeah, there you go.
Just gonna plug different art as we go.
Yeah, we're not talking top artists, but the board game itself, right? Although it was hard not to search out artists that I love and see their board games and stuff. But we're going to go over that list. Before we do that, of course, we got announcements and we'll talk about stuff. We also have Peter here, old friend of the show. How many times have you been on the show now? 4 times? 3 times?
Something like that. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Getting there.
I haven't been on since you've had first of all, that intro was great. Like I really like the animated poses and the GIF, and I haven't been on since these headlines have been on your show, which I know it's old news, but still.
I think I started that at the beginning of this year. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about doing stuff. Hi, Di. How's it going?
Howdy.
Peace.
We're going to be talking about those things. We're going to be talking about. I have a fun little game for both of you to enjoy.
Uh-oh.
Or for me to enjoy putting you both through. No, it'll be fun. It's just a fun little thing to do. And of course, we'll talk about some of the fun stuff that we've been all up to lately. So.
And what we're doing, right? We're a week and a half away from another convention, and convention season's running, and you guys just came off a phenomenal campaign, which I cannot wait to get my copy.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
I have had to push back on Mike, telling him we can't play duels every episode. It can't become the duels show. But
I don't see why not. I think if there's no guest and it's just you and I think we should head-to-head battle at the end of every show. If people want to drop out and watch the show, cool. If they want to watch us fight as dragons, that's even better. I don't see a problem with it. I'm just saying.
That reminds me of I do the stream on Fridays, and I was determined to play Letter Tycoon every stream because I really liked the game. But then after a while, I was like, I don't know, is this the Letter Tycoon show?
Yeah, it takes over. Yeah. Plus, we like to switch stuff around. So, although we've been doing top 5s quite a bit lately.
We have.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll talk about. Well, let's talk about it now, actually, because some people might not be familiar with Peter, which would be weird because we talk about you even when you're not here. All good things.
Your ears are definitely.
While it's recording, all good things. No.
Yeah, right.
So as Mike just mentioned, all disclaimers aside, I work for Cardboard Alchemy as well, so all that stuff. But tell us, Cardboard Alchemy, all that awesomeness.
Well, I will tell the story if people don't know how I met you, Chris, which is that you had done a Kickstarter before I did a Kickstarter. And I was trying to figure out how to do said thing of Kickstarter. And I wrote to people. I just wrote randomly to people. I was like, I really like the look of this game, Evil Intent. And how'd you do it? And then you answered me, which was nice of you. Not everybody answered, but I found that there were people who answered like yourself, and it was like this really nice community of people who said, well, I'm going to help you figure out the thing that I just did. So I remember after that, I had just started working with Brad Brooks, who's the co-founder of Cardboard Alchemy.
Just before you push on from that, I'd just like you to know that I went back and looked what date you sent me that email, that introduction.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
It was June 9th. Which is today. Yes. Of all the things, I just looked, I was like, oh my God, it's exactly 12 years ago.
Wow.
That's wild.
12 years ago.
Isn't that insane?
How do you crowdfund? Please tell me, Chris.
Yeah.
Wow.
So continue. I just thought that was amazing.
One of the things that I think is cool is, so I've started 3 companies in gaming. I made... I started my first game company actually called was Evil Plot Games because I wanted to make games for Facebook, and I was going to do that for a while. And then I moved on to make a company called Squirmy Beast to make my first board games, and then merged with Breaking Games for a little bit. And then while I was at Breaking Games, talked to Brad Brooks about starting our own company. And since Brad and I have done the Cardboard Alchemy thing, June 24th is our 5 years at Cardboard Alchemy, which is fun. So we're hitting 5 this year. And now that once Luke Laurie comes on board this June, making it with Chris, Brad, Luke, and myself 4 League of Game Makers founders that are part of Cardboard Alchemy. So it's just a fun, small industry sometimes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't believe that email was June 9th. That's wild.
I know. How insane. Because I was just like, oh, I'm curious, exactly when it was. It just happened to be exactly June 9th.
No shit. That's crazy.
It was funny, too, because I also saw the email that I sent Aaron afterwards saying, hey, this guy Peter emailed me.
Do I tell him anything? No.
Yeah, I was like, I figured it'd be okay. Just tell him. She's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, that's kind of
divulge the secret.
Yeah. I need to point something out. Last week we were talking about, or was it maybe it was the first podcast, but we were talking about on the show on how you're not an outgoing person, Chris, and you don't talk to a lot of people. So Peter, 12 years ago, sends you an email with a question, and you're like, hey, love to talk to you. And then I send you a similar thing when you were doing the Kickstarter on Troubles with your expansion. Say, hey, I run this QSCon thing. Do you want to come on and talk? And you were like, yeah, absolutely. And now we start the show. So I call bullshit that you are not.
No, I didn't say that I don't like to talk to people. I just don't know how to start it. See, you're both your examples with both of you contacted me. You contact me, that's friendship right there, obviously, right?
Okay, all right. So if you want to talk to Chris, just send him a random email about something.
That's dangerous. The email is Michael.
Nope.
No.
I mean, people could find it, but no, don't do that.
Yeah.
I will forward you all the emails. Yeah. Yep. All right, so what are we doing? What do we got? We got 12 years ago you talked to Chris. You start Cardboard Alchemy. You're going on 5 years, you said. What was the first one? Was Catastrophe the first one?
Mission Catastrophe was the first game, but not the first crowdfunding campaign. We did one celebrating, which I think is really great about this topic. We celebrated art. That was our first campaign, was
all the coasters.
Art, because we wanted to say, hey, we're here for art. That's like one of our top things is art and components. And so that's why we've made 4 games, and Duals actually is the 5th game that we funded.
Amazing.
5 games in 5 years. We're not on a bad pace, although I recently saw a post by AEG owner John Zinzer that said how many games he's done in 30 years, which is 141.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, wow, I have to go faster.
No, I mean, I know I haven't played 141 games of theirs, but I've played 100% of Cardboard Alchemies, right? So
a little biased, but yes.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're going at a slower rate, so you have more time to kind of absorb each one. Yeah.
Well, quantity over quality, right? Or quality over quantity.
Either way.
Not all the games are bangers, and I mean, you got companies like you that put out, pretty consistently one a year. Hopefully that continues. And you had Days of Wonder that kind of did the same model where they had one come out every year that was a banger. You got Mighty Boards that does the same thing. So it's a nice pace if you can do that. That way you kind of stay, and maybe you sprinkle in a couple others, but 140 in 30 years.
What's the 3WS pace?
Not that. Oh, what are you doing, buddy? You want to say hi to Peter? Peter and Chris, you want to say hi?
3WS also does Netflix and books and stuff like that too. So it's a weird.
Hi, Peter. Hi, Chris.
Hi. Hey.
How you doing today?
How are you? Good. Peter asked how you doing.
What's on his pajamas? Is that a pirate ship and rum?
It looks like it.
It is water. It is water.
Ship in a bottle.
Of water. Yeah, they are pirate ships.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
A bulldog skull and crossbones, but it's not a skull of a bulldog. The bulldog's actually wearing a. I don't know. Is it on the screen? I don't know if it's on the screen. Maybe it's up here.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got an eye patch.
Nice.
The bulldog has an eye patch.
Okay.
Oh, look
He's
at
showing
that.
some muscles.
Look at guns.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, there's the guns.
Well, since he's here, should we look at the painting?
That's the white.
You want to jump to the painting quick while he's here?
Yeah.
You want to do the painting?
Luca's painting. We show this every episode. We like to look at it and see what we all see before Luca tells us that we're wrong about it.
Yeah. Well, that'll definitely. Wait, now the other Cookie Monster's coming down. I feel like my water's gonna get spilled all over the computer.
That's going to be
God.
great.
Yeah, and that's not gonna be good for live TV. All right. So yeah. So how old are you?
Sweet.
3, and
Nice.
you've been painting since you were 1. Since you just turned 1.
How old are you guys?
We're old. We're like 7.
Older than
More than 3.
Yep.
Well, I got 1, 2, 3.
You are 3.
4, 5.
Here's the other one.
Good.
I have 3, 4, 5.
Nice.
Okay, so for the past couple of years, these two now have been watercolor painting, and you watercolor painted this on Monday, right? When we were down in Ocean City. So the one that was the fox dinosaur that we had last week.
Mhm.
This is from the same batch that he did. So this is done June. I keep forgetting I'm on the wrong camera. June 2nd.
Nice.
You want me to show it to them?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to use this camera right here.
This episode is about art.
There
It
you
is.
go.
All right,
let's
so
hold
we're
closer
supposed
you
to
can
take
see
a
it.
look at this, and
I'm not-
chat can tell us what they see,
Hmm.
Rorschach wise. Okay. Well, I mean, I already see some stuff. It's weird. Maybe I'm influenced by the fact that you said you were at Ocean City.
It's
Don't say what it is yet.
okay.
Let them guess, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Good job.
And then you could tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and everyone's gonna start chatting about what they think it is, and Chris is gonna tell you what he thinks it is, and Peter's gonna tell you what he thinks it is, and then you're gonna tell them why they're wrong. Okay?
Actually,
Okay.
I'll go ahead and tell you what I see, and you can tell me how wrong I am. Okay?
Okay.
Can you put it closer?
It's,
Oh wow! This is almost exactly what I was going to say. A pink horse sitting in the sun with Stonehenge in the background.
Wow.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like on the beach, right? Because the sun's at the top,
Don't. hold
Sand's
on,
right
let them
there,
talk
and he's
about it.
got
Hold
big
on.
tentacle
Okay,
arms.
okay. Here, push it forward.
Eric and I,
Yeah.
Yeah.
magical pink horse. Okay, the horse is pretty
No.
It
strong.
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
No.
Okay.
I wasn't seeing
No.
the horse, but now I do, and I can't unsee the. Now I see it.
But what were
Yeah.
you saying before the horse?
Well, I was thinking of a creature that wasn't. I didn't know if it was a horse. You know, I didn't know if we were going to a Cthulhu dimension or not. But it was a. There's a. I saw a forest. Basically, I was like, why is the creature sunbathing in the forest? But I wasn't thinking sunbathing. I was thinking just enjoying, you know, the tentacles for sure. Pink Cthulhu is right.
Pink
One of-
Cthulhu. Yep,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
that's funny. All right, Luca, what is it? How are we wrong?
Oh, okay.
All right. So what? Tell them what it is. What is it?
It's Belly Bees.
Billy bees?
Yeah.
It's a Billy Bee.
Where were at Belly Bees?
So this is Billy bees.
Yeah.
So Billy Bees is like if you remember, like a not really a Chuck E. Cheese Discovery Zone kind of thing where they have like the ball pits and the mazes and slides and stuff all over the place.
Nice.
And you
Paulo
run
is right.
around.
Unfathomable horrors.
Unfathomable horror. Yeah, yeah. I definitely saw the Cthulhu. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But I kind of see like on theme with his pajamas. I saw like a kraken and a pirate ship.
Mm.
Yeah.
A kraken and a pirate?
Yeah, this is the kraken, and it's eating the pirate ship.
Yeah.
But if it's Billy Bees, it's Billy Bees.
Unfathomable horses.
I'm not gonna fight with you. If it's Billy Bees, then it's Billy Bees.
Yeah.
Dang it. It's a pirate ship with a kraken.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's whatever you think it is.
Hey, that's my name.
it is your name.
It's L-U-C-A, Luca.
Good job. What's your last name?
It's Luca Giuliano.
Good job, buddy.
Mm. Nice.
He says it better than I do sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't pronounce anything, so
That's true.
you live in a fake time zone. Oh, forget it. Peter's even farther behind. Jeez.
That's right.
It's like
Daytime.
morning for Peter.
It's still
All right,
daytime.
you want to say bye? And go upstairs.
It's still daytime here. Bye, Luca.
Say bye, Luca. Say bye, Peter.
Bye, Luca.
No.
Wow, that's an old laugh-in joke.
Oh, he got me. All right, upstairs.
Bye, Chris. Bye, Peter.
Bye.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, buddy man.
Bye, man.
Bye, buddy man.
I'm going down.
All right, so it's cracking with a pirate ship. I was right all along.
Yep.
I feel like you have some persuasion there. That's
He just went upstairs, and I heard him just say, "I made a new friend."
oh,
That's nice.
Just saying. So Peter, you're Luca's new friend.
Excellent. All
There you
right.
go.
I'm looking forward to that. I got to go to QSCon to get more. Well, I don't know if he goes to QSCon.
He does. He's got jerseys and everything.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. Oh, he knows QSCon. All right. Well, that was fun. That was entertaining.
Yeah. I love that you're doing that. I think that's really fun.
I have a lot of paintings now, Peter.
he has so many paintings.
There are so many. I mean, so Mika didn't do any while we were down in Ocean City. Luca did, but Luca did 4 of them. And when they get together, they're doing 4 or 5 each at a clip now. Because they want to do it. So I just have them. They're multiplied. They're like rabbits. It's ridiculous. But it's great. I'm glad I have them. I'm doing the date on the top, and I also like when we're done, I'll put on the bottom the full 42 and what number this is. This will actually be number 120 because I marked the one from last week as 119, and then I'll put the date of the show that it was on. So in the future, if you wanted to look at like who was talking about it or him on the show or something like that, there's the date of the show. So I'm kind of keeping track of who the guest was and stuff like that. So it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, no, that's really great.
I'd rather have it right than wish I did it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun.
So announcements. We let our guests give announcements.
Yep.
Usually I don't get to give Cardboard Alchemy announcements because I'm not the one that releases all the stuff, but I don't know if we do or not. Do we?
Well, I don't know that we have announcements per se. Our campaign just finished, so we're working on making the thing. But I guess the announcement is that if you somehow missed Flamecraft Duals and you're watching the full 42 and you're thinking, I really need that game that Mike can't stop playing on this show, you can still late pledge for Flamecraft Duals and all the things.
And the link to that is in the descriptions.
Perfect.
The next campaign that we're doing, because I had this foolish idea that we were going to do 3 campaigns a year. That's not happening. But we are going to do 2 this year. The next one we're going to do is Andromeda's Edge Genesis. So
Nice.
I'm looking forward to that one. After Gen Con, we're going to launch that one.
Is that Kickstarter or
Game Found, which
Nice.
is where we launched the first one. And so we'll go back over there. And boy, there's so many cool ideas coming in that game. So I just talked to Game Toppers. I sort of leaked this a little bit on Facebook that we're doing a mat, like a big mat for Andromeda's Edge, and in a couple sizes for the Game Toppers. And the last time I worked with them, we made a Dwellings of Eldervale mat. Thought it was really, speaking of art and appreciating that, I like a mat that it's not completely baked into the gameplay so that you can enjoy it with multiple games. You know, you can keep using the mat. So this is the same thing, but like giving everybody a sci-fi mat. That'll be fun.
nice?
I love that, Matt. Always get like halfway through the Dwellings game and go, I forgot to put the mat down. It's like right there.
That's funny. I need good mat storage now, though, because it seems like a lot of games are coming with mats. Like, you know, Unconscious Mind came with a mat, and this game comes with a mat, and that game comes with a mat. So I'm like, whoa, I'm going to need a mat rack or something, which I know people have.
Yeah, I've been using those tubes that that you use for artwork, you know, like paintings and stuff like that. I've been using tubes like that. I had a bunch of them from whenever I was in college and stuff, but I've run out now. So
Have you seen Mine, do you see the one that goes over the door? It's meant for rolls of vinyl, I think, for like the vinyl cutters, whatever, and it holds them that way. That's what I use. It holds 42 of them or whatever. That wasn't planned, but yeah, those are good.
The only other thing I was going to say announcements wise is that the next con I'm going to is Rage Con with Chris.
Nice.
Oh, look at that. Ooh, some of those are really good choices for games. I definitely have thought of some of those for this list.
There could
I
be,
missed games at the gathering.
There might be a crossover on my list with something.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are good choices right there. Coming from someone who makes beautiful games too, so.
Oh yeah, Wonderland's War. Well, we can't talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk after.
Getting people's lists and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, but we're going to RageCon.
Nice.
It's a small little con, but it has this like good vibe to it, which is usually how the small cons start, right? And then we're also doing Will Brown and Don Gilstrap convinced me last year to try TrainCon, which all we're doing is taking a train from Oakland, California to Reno. And that's like a mini con before the con starts, where you're on a train, this beautiful scenery of California, and we're playing not necessarily just train games, but games that, fit in the snack car on that table or in the observation lounge on that table. It's a really like relaxing kind of way to get into a con.
I've never been on a train before.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited. Although my family has a weird history with trains. My grandfather on my mother's side ran into moving trains twice.
Whoa.
Like drove into them. Mostly because he kept driving after he kind of went blind. Just in the, I'm the man kind of thing. Way back in the days when that was stupid. It's still stupid. But the second time he hit the train grabbed the car and took him with it.
Oh, God.
Everybody was fine. The whole family was in the car. Everybody was fine though.
Wow.
And then on my father's side, my uncle, who I never met, was a train conductor who had to derail his train and everything to avoid hitting another passenger train. It's crazy.
I thought you were going to avoid hitting him.
So yeah, weird history with trains. We'll see what happens when I get on one.
Yeah, we'll just have a safe train ride is what we're going to do.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's make sure that happens. You might want to take a different train, Peter.
I don't believe in jinxes, but other people do. So sorry about that.
Oof. Man. All right, that'll be fun. When is this happening?
RageCon's at the end of June. So
26?
6, 7,
weekend
8.
of the 20. Yeah, 28, 29. Yeah.
Yeah, 28, 29th is that campaign weekend I'm putting together. So I can't wait to hear about your excursion. This will be fun.
Yeah,
fun. Chris, well, not to take away from your announcements, but you're going to be demoing Whisperwood there, right?
That's right. We haven't really talked that much about Whisperwood on here, but it's my next game coming out. Or actually, it's one of it comes up. Yeah. One of my next games coming out. Depends on which one comes out first, but yeah.
I'm excited to publish one of your games.
Yeah. It's weird. It's been 12 years and that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. I mean, I convinced Breaking Games to take on Asking for Troubles because I really believe in it. And I have liked all of the games that you and Aaron have made. So
technically you have.
What?
You've published the remake of Troubles.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I'm excited to publish another one. Officially, I suppose more stuff. Yeah.
Well, from scratch too, right?
Yeah.
You'll also take it out of my hands, which I'm nervous but confident about at the same time. That's because with Troubles, I was this is my own thing. It's ready. Just leave it alone kind of thing.
What's interesting about that? Well, this is a tangent on announcements, but we work really closely. Since we're talking about art, we work really closely with the artist, and we work really closely with the designer. And I love that. I think that's actually the best way to go. But I was just talking with someone recently that said they turned in their game and they haven't heard anything. Like it just comes out after that. And I was like, what? That doesn't seem right. I mean, maybe that's how people like to do it.
Okay.
There's a lot of different ways.
Yeah, different, right? There's also companies that like to dev the games that they take on, and there's companies that don't have time to dev it and they want it as dev'd as possible. So
yeah,
depends on who you are. But that's a good point. Like as a designer, when you're shopping around, is the company that you're shopping it to one of those that's hands-on and keeps you in the loop, or are you a designer that just wants to wash your hands of it and let people take it over?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we know plenty of designers that have like suitcases full of prototypes that would love to just be able to run around throwing prototypes at people and go all day.
This, right?
Yeah, you got this. All right, moving on. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just like we were talking about All Play doing all those different games and stuff like that, everybody has their different ways of doing stuff, and it seems to work for most different. That's the great thing about this industry is we kind of do our own thing and be successful in different ways.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Any other like a job interview?
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, one of the best points, like, whenever I'm asked a question, like, do you have any tips or pointers on pitching, is just make sure you know who you're pitching to.
It's true.
Really, you don't want to pitch a game. Not only do you not want to pitch a game that's not in their wheelhouse, right? Like you're pitching a dexterity game to a company that does non-dexterity games, but you want to make sure that it's not only a company you're going to be proud of, but that you want to work with. And the industry's pretty open. Like you'll find the information you need when you start asking around. Like, all right, I have this game. Who should I pitch to? Or I'm pitching to them. Do you have any pointers on that? Like you'll find that out pretty quickly.
I got pitched this game. It was really funny, and someone said to me like, "Yeah, I've been trying to get this other companies. I thought it's not really getting picked up by anyone, so I thought I'd try you." And I was like, "Wow, that's not a great start." And they're like, "Yeah, it's this great game that's like, there's not a lot of art in it." And I was like, "Oof." And they said, "Oh, and there's no." I was like, "Is it something that you would kickstart? Because that's what our company tends to do." And they're like, "Oh no, it's definitely no stretch goals, or it would be, it's completely baked with no changes whatsoever possible." And I was like, "I'm out."
Yeah,
like,
perfect.
There's no more conversation.
That is a perfect marriage between Cardboard Alchemy and whatever that game is. Jeez.
Yeah.
That doesn't check any of the boxes. It checks no boxes.
Now, the weird thing, though, is I'm always wary about giving that kind of advice because there's always the exception.
Oh, sure.
There's always the weird time when the publisher's like, yeah, we only make games about fantasy, but there's this one sci-fi that, and then...
Yeah,
so
there's definitely...
Sometimes it works.
Yeah, there was as I have a John Clare story. I was in a design, like a playtest group for a long time ago with John Clare, and none of us had gotten published yet. And John had just gotten something signed at Queen Games, and we all said, "Well, how did you do that? Like, how did you get that signed?" And he's like, "I just sent him a video of the game." And we looked at their website. It's like no submissions. Like they basically said, "You can't do it." And he goes, "Well, I just decided to send him an email that said, watch this video. This game's great." And it was a 2-minute video selling the game. And sometimes the rules are meant to be broken, right? Because that got someone to watch that video, and then that was it. Yeah.
Well, also videos are. I was asked once, like, what's the best way to submit submissions and all that? Like, give me a 2-minute video. I'll watch a 2-minute video about any board game.
I think it was important that it was that short too, right?
Yeah.
So watch this.
If it's 15, I'm out, but
2 I could watch. Yeah.
I don't even watch 15-minute videos on like Kickstarters I'm interested in. Much less just some random game that's being pitched to me. But 2 minutes, I could spare 2 minutes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, giving away too many hints here. Now you're gonna get a whole bunch of 2-minute videos.
Yeah, you're just gonna get flooded in emails of watch this. This is great.
Yeah.
And at Retribution, you're gonna be making me watch all of them, aren't you?
It's true.
Oh yeah.
Hey Matt, how's it going?
Matty Pete.
Nice.
So before we get into the top
wait,
5,
I have announcements.
Okay.
Oh, fine. You're gonna make me put on the banner of announcements.
I mean, just because you don't doesn't mean I don't. It's not how this works.
All right, do your announcements. Your great announcements that are very important. Sorry.
It's very important. I'm going to be on the rundown on Wednesday.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. You're always
We're
on
doing-
the rundown.
We're doing an Origins preview.
I
Huh?
thought you were going to announce a Kickstarter or something. Don't you have a Kickstarter coming?
Yeah, the 24th.
Yeah, okay. So,
I talked about it. If people are watching, if you're not watching, there's a Kickstarter of a co-design coming out June 24th. We have some stuff leading up to it that needs to be redone. I know I talked about it last week that it was starting, but we're kind of pivoting on that for now. So I can't talk about it until I know more details. But I do know I'm going to be on the rundown on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. They go live, and we're talking about Origins. So there's
8
going to be
o'clock
some
Eastern time.
Oh, speaking of conventions.
Yeah, Eastern.
I love Origins, and I'm missing it again.
Yeah, it's a great. I love the city. I love the feel of it. I think it's a really fun convention for me, but that's because it's usually right around my birthday, so I enjoy it for different reasons. Yeah, it's a good one.
Probably one of the biggest misses ever is that I was going to get Chris to go to Origins, and it was going to be his birthday trip to Origins.
That's true. I remember.
And,
that fell through.
And then he had so much work to do for a campaign we were doing called Dwellings of Eldervale.
That's Dwellings, yeah.
Yeah, that he missed. That was too bad.
Yeah. I mean, it hurts because you know how much I love traveling and go to the conventions and stuff. But if you're gonna miss it working on Dwellings, that's not such a bad thing.
No,
that's pretty good.
That
pretty good.
launched a lot of things actually, so that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Wait, when's your birthday? Is it Sunday?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
So we have a little bit of a birthday. We should have a birthday celebration next Monday.
Yeah, you and I are 4 days apart.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's right.
Lots
Cool.
of people in June. It's crazy.
Yeah, June's good. A lot of Geminis out there.
Yeah, I've never been to Origins. Yep.
Yeah, Origins is great.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh,
Yours
that's right. I forgot. You were right before me, aren't you?
Yeah.
I know several people that we work with are also in June too.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Good month.
All the best people. Well,
I mean,
not all the best people.
Okay, fine.
You said
What
it.
was
I didn't.
My half birthday is in June, so yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, that's right. Friday the 13th.
Oh, Friday the 13th. Fun.
Evil Matt.
Okay. Any other announcements, Mike?
No, I'll let you continue doing your thing. I know there's something else, but I don't know what it was. No, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do a little game.
Oh, right.
Come up with an announcement, quick.
Don't sound so excited. It's just a little activity, just for you guys to have some fun.
Yeah,
I know you're both Marvel fans, right?
Keep down playing it.
Yep.
So we're gonna play a little game.
Great.
Where you're gonna get to build your own Avengers team.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna give you options, and we'll have Peter go first since he's our guest. And then we'll switch. And then the next round, you'll get to go first, Mike, and so on and so on. I'll present you with some options in the middle, and you're going to create your own Avengers team. And then the chat will vote on who they think has the team that would defeat the other team.
Ooh. Okay.
All right.
And I get the break ties. Okay. So.
The power. You're like the Watcher with the power.
Yes. More like the Watcher than just the power, right? I don't have Jeffrey Wright's voice though. I'd like that. All right, so Peter, your first choice is between the people that are probably going to be the weakest of your group. So you got Daredevil, Jubilee, or Punisher.
Oh wow. That's a tough call. I wish the Daredevil shows were ever better than they are. I don't know why.
Oh, really? I love the Daredevil show.
You know, I also was trying to get into the recent Punisher too, and was just like, why am I not? My son really likes that one, but I'm gonna go Daredevil. Although Jubilee is tempting.
Is she?
Yeah. I'm gonna go Daredevil.
Well, I know which way Chris is gonna vote.
Wow. Well, that does.
I'm sure fireworks are very important in fighting for your life. She makes it sparkle.
I get the pre-garbage then before this goes away.
And what do you want? Do you want Jubilee? Now, also keep in mind you have these personalities to deal with too as you build your team. It's not just powers.
Right.
Okay.
I'm still taking Punisher.
I mean,
okay,
that's good.
All right, that's going to be a dysfunctional team right there. That's fun.
We'll see. I don't know what you have planned, so maybe they're just all aggressive loners that just blow up everything. Who knows?
No. All right, so Mike's going to pick this next one.
Okay.
Got some web slingers. That's if you can't see it, that's Shuri as Black Panther.
Shuri's good.
Got Ghost Spider or Spider-Man. Who's going to work well with the Punisher?
Shuri.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
She will keep him in check.
I can't believe
the tech that she brings.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which way are you going, Peter?
Oh man, this is a tough choice. I love Spider-Man, but I'm going Ghost Spider today.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Ghost's a good pick. Ghost's a good pick.
I think they could work well with Daredevil there.
Yeah. I can't believe Spidey was not picked.
I know that's crazy. All right, Peter, you're going to be first for this round.
Ooh.
You got the regeneration group here: Wolverine, X3, and Daredevil.
Deadpool's not working well with anybody.
Or too well. No, not.
That's X23, right?
Or X23, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Not really familiar with the middle pick here, so I'm gonna have to. Don't know personality wise. It's true, Eric. That's very true. I would take Wolverine. Love Wolverine. Not exactly, going to work well with the team, but we're gonna see.
Yeah, we know his personality quirks.
We're gonna have to convince him in about 20 multiverses to join, but after that, he'll do it.
Which way are you going, Mike?
I don't know. I'm tempted on 23.
I mean, her personality is similar in a way. That's how she works with people. So,
yeah, I think I gotta go with the Merc with the mouth. I gotta take Deadpool.
Oh man, this is gonna be this whole team's gonna implode, dude.
But I'll talk later.
All right.
This is tough.
Yeah.
Mike, you're next.
All right.
Wow.
These are the heavies.
Beast. 100% Beast.
Beast?
Yeah,
over Thing? Over
for sure, Beast.
Sabretooth?
Well, I can't put Sabretooth and Sabretooth and Wolverine on the same team. That's ridiculous.
I got Punisher and Deadpool, Peter.
I'm gonna put a Thing. I mean, I can't. There's no way. Sabretooth is not coming over.
It's a good guy.
Yeah.
He is a good guy. That's a good team down there, though. Shit.
What got left over? Yeah. I should say that's my team.
Yep, that's your team.
Oof.
All right, Peter, you get first pick on this one.
Wow.
Powerful ones. You got Storm, Nightcrawler, and Groot.
Wow, that's a tough call right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Why do I feel like this is the group of people who they're cool powers, but very circumstantial use.
Mhm.
You'd think they would be more so. I mean, I think I'm gonna take Groot. Yeah, I'm gonna take Groot. I mean, Nightcrawler.
Groot.
But so is Storm. Storm could do some amazing things. It's a tough call.
Which way are you going, Mike?
Nightcrawler for sure.
Who's the guy with the cool hair? That's Nightcrawler is this one.
Mhm.
Nightcrawler here. You got
Yep.
2 blue dudes. Not that that matters. I don't know. I'm happy with this team down here.
Yeah, it's
Good.
cool.
Pretty good
They're
team.
all good. They all have their benefits.
Yeah.
All right. And now you need your most powerful.
Okay.
And that's going to be Mike's first pick.
Yep.
Thor, Scarlet Witch, or Captain Marvel.
Well, thank you very much for the hair comment.
God, what?
That's nice.
Oh, that is wicked.
I can't. The images are. I can't tell the middle. What is that?
That's Thor in the middle.
Thor, Witch,
okay.
and Marvel.
I couldn't see that it was Thor, actually.
Yeah, it's a weird drawing. I should have gotten a different one. Try to get the hammer in there.
God,
Yeah.
Witch is hard to pass up. Captain Marvel is
I've been saying
Real.
Thor.
good choice, but the Witch. I got Luca. Come here. I need your help.
Well, that's cheating.
I need your help.
With what?
All right, I need to pick one of these characters. Okay, I need to pick Captain Marvel. I need to pick the Scarlet Witch, or I need to pick Thor. Which one would you pick?
Thor.
You'd pick Thor?
Yeah,
Why?
because I love Thor.
You love Thor?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't pick otherwise now.
Ah, man.
Are these the bad characters?
No, those are all the characters that Peter and I have picked. I picked these, and Peter's picked those.
Are you going Thor?
No, I gotta go Witch.
You're going against the Luca?
I gotta go Scarlet Witch. Captain Marvel's wicked strong, but Scarlet Witch is one of the strongest in the universe. Like, her powers are ridiculous. I gotta go Witch. I gotta go Scarlet Witch.
There's
Hey.
no way you guys are surviving even one mission together. Peter, which way are you going?
Captain Marvel, please.
Captain
Yeah,
Marvel. Oh,
Marvel's
that
up there.
didn't even think that one through.
That's
All
all
right. And yeah, I'd be pretty happy with this team down there as well. Now, we could have everybody vote right now on which team is going to win, but if you were to watch this as a movie, you'd want to pick actors for these, right?
Oh no.
Oh, come on.
So I have actors that we can have be these groups here. So
Wow.
we're going to go ahead and cast all these groups. So Peter, you're going to pick first between these actors.
Come on.
So you got Jack Black.
Stop it.
I'm not going to know some of the names of these actually.
Dad, I want these.
What's his name? Adrian Brody and
Adrian Brody.
Maisie Williams.
What was this, the last one?
Maisie Williams, she's from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So now we got to pick the actor or actress and match them up to the character.
Yes.
This is atrocious.
I don't think I'm putting Jack Black into these characters. Although I like Jack Black a lot. So I kind of
Yeah, but
want
he's
to see Jack Black as the thing or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something.
Thank you, buddy.
Um,
No, I need this for the show.
but I mean, I think Game of Thrones in Ghost Spider here is pretty good.
Okay.
That'd be pretty good. You going to go that way?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, I don't know how to put them ahead of them, actually. I didn't think ahead of this one. Hold on. Let me do this. Just put them on top.
Okay.
All right. So, Mike, do I have to ask?
Jack Black.
No, you don't have to ask. I don't. You know how much I hate Jack Black. Although I like Jack Black as Wolverine, and I like Jack Black as Beast. But Beast is intelligent, and Jack Black cannot play an intelligent role. So It's got to be Brody, and it's got to be. It has to be Nightcrawler.
I could see that. He's got the long face, right? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get rid of poor Jack Black.
Man, that's crazy that Jack got passed.
Don't like him.
Who are you putting?
Where's
Jack go in the other team, Chris? Where I gotta know now.
What was that?
Where does Jack go in the other team? I have to know.
Sabretooth.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I can. Let's see. I can decide. Oh well, that's an easy one,
right?
Yeah.
I have to look around there. Jack Black is Sabretooth. I can see that.
Obviously, a Giuliano.
Well, yeah. Your name? You wrote your name?
Yeah.
Has a long face.
Thank you, bud.
He would be a good Daredevil or Nightcrawler, yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, that would have been a good pick.
All right, so Mike, you get to pick the next group.
Please go upstairs.
Oops. Didn't make them go away.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna finish the show and I'm gonna draw it later. Okay.
All right. Here's all your choices, Mike, for the next group.
Yeah. So it's been a great show, Peter. Thank you for taking the time. I gotta run.
Welcome.
The kids need
I'm
me.
kidding. I knew you wouldn't pick Jack Black.
Oh God, I can't stand him.
All right. So you got Anna de Armas. What's her name? I can't remember her name now.
You're gonna knock the water down.
Seyfried, Amanda Seyfried, and of course, I'm surprised that Henry Cavill isn't in Marvel at all. Of course, he's Superman, but yeah.
I think
It's Amanda Seyfried. Seyfried?
this is good. I think Cavill as Punisher.
I could see that. All right. Which way you want to go, Peter?
I guess Seyfried as Captain Marvel.
That's a good one too.
Which one were you saying?
Seyfried as
Seyfried?
Marvel.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, she's about to be her own superhero in her show. Easy 23, I think.
Yeah.
She's going to be doing that new John Wick movie, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
She was also in Knives Out
Upstairs.
and Blade Runner, too.
Nice.
Oops, didn't mean for that to go away. Next one, Peter. Yeah, Audrey Hepburn went way back in Time Machine.
What?
Johnny Depp and Natalie Portman, who is in Marvel, but recast.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Since I don't have any more women that are in the Marvel universe, but we're in multiverse, so I'm like, I could cast.
Sure.
I could cast Natalie Portman as Groot, and that would just be weird.
More weird than Thor?
No. So I guess why not, right? Yeah, I'm trying to see Johnny Depp as Wolverine. I don't know what to do with this.
That's a weird one.
I know. I would like to see his version of Wolverine. It would be.
I don't think I would.
No, you don't think so?
Natalie Portman is Daredevil or Deadpool.
Yeah, you know what? I like that call a lot. Natalie Portman is Daredevil, 100%. That's a pick right there. That's awesome.
Great. Thanks, Evan, for giving that to Peter.
Oh, was that going to be your pick?
God, this is brutal. All right, I'm going to go Depp with Beast.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. I would have gone Hepburn with Scarlet Witch. But instead, I guess she's going to be Jubilee.
Okay.
Seems to work. Got the haircut already.
Storm. Hepburn as Storm would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Depp as Deadpool is, I don't know.
Could be.
Maybe. All right. Next one is Mike picking first. So you got
Oh, wow.
Anne Hathaway, Terry Crews, and Harry Potter himself, What's his name?
I know. I'm trying to think of it at the moment.
Starts with a D.
No.
No?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Thank you, Eric.
Wow, Cruz is good pick too. Let's go Hathaway as Scarlet Witch.
Okay. See that? All right. You actually have a matchup that a lot of people want here, Peter.
Oh yeah.
Weird thing about people wanting Radcliffe to be Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, he did some movie where someone like surgically attached guns to his hand, and he rages out, and they use that clip with him doing it.
All right, then we're doing it.
I'm not trying to push you. Terry Crews would make a good Groot too.
Yeah, that's true. But we're gonna do this.
I mean, for argument's sake, anyone can make a good Groot, right? It's the same thing with inflection, and they're just running around on stilts with green dots. Like anyone can be Groot because it's basically all CGI.
I would go Radcliffe and Wolverine to see what happens.
All right.
Cruz's thing would also be good.
That's a weird pick. Keanu Reeves as Ghost Rider. Guns Akimbo. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Huh.
Cruz's thing. I could see that. But Cruz instead is going to go on my team.
Spider-Man.
He'll be Thor.
Okay.
He's too big for Spider. He'd be Venom if he was all in that costume. All right. So that was Mike. So Mike gets the pick from this group. Old school Clint Eastwood.
I like anyone could be Groot. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, Evan can be Groot for sure.
The audience gets to come in and be the next two.
This is Peter's pick, right? I got Hathaway out of the last one.
That's true. Yeah, Peter's pick. Okay. So you got Dave Patel, I think his name is Patel. Yeah. Dev Patel. I can't remember her name. She plays Nurse Chapel on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And then Clint Eastwood.
I think Clint, we were just saying anyone could be Groot, but Clint Eastwood as Groot would be funny. So I'm going to do it. Yeah, 100%.
I am Groot.
Yeah, he would have been a better Wolverine if I hadn't gotten Wolverine, but I didn't know that was coming.
It's true. Oh man, whoever's next, you're going to be stuck with.
I know. I know.
It's funny because you got two people that would be CG though.
Yeah. Clint Poole. That's very funny.
Clint Poole. I am unfamiliar with both of them.
I thought you might be unfamiliar with Nurse Chapel. I should have picked someone else.
Well, for sure, because of Star Trek.
Yeah. Though you should watch Strange New Worlds. Clint Poole.
I do want to see Worlds one of these days.
I don't know what to do with this one. Could you just quickly, I guess, in like a sentence, like what kind of actors are they? What kind of roles do they play?
Well, Dev Patel does. He did Slumdog Millionaire, I think, whenever he was much younger. More kind of serious, but plays the until recently, he plays kind of like the tech goofy guy. He was in Newsroom too. If you saw that, great show. Oh yes, he's in the new Monkey Man. It's like a John Wick kind of thing where he's going around, big actiony type.
Oh, okay, all right. That's a good case for Deadpool then. That kind of role. And what about her?
I've only seen her in this one role, so I could only tell you about the character, not the actor.
Sure.
But she's she's like a super intelligent nurse, but rebellious, chaotic.
So Shuri.
Could be, yeah.
So either one of them in either of those roles sounds about right. All right, let's go. I don't know either of them. This is a hard pick.
If you want, Mike, I can give you another choice.
No, God, no, put it away. God, don't ever pull it out on the show again.
Wow.
Let's put
Blackpool.
I like the rebellious. You're talking about the rebellious and the nurse, the healer, but then the Patel with the action. Let's go with her and Shuri.
All right.
Last person's going in Deadpool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roll on the dice on this one. Shit.
Let's see. I can make him Spider-Man. I could definitely see that.
Okay.
All right. Final one. And this is Mike picking first, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I dipped into Andor and Game of Thrones and Orville this time.
Oh, God.
So you got the Doctor from Orville. She was also in DS9, but neither of you are big Star Trek fans. You've got Cassian Andor. Can't remember his name right now. And can't remember her name either, but she was nothing Jon Snow on Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Diego Luna is Andor. And I believe she's married to the actor that played Jon Snow.
Yeah. They met and got married in Game of Thrones, yeah.
I'm going Luna as Deadpool.
Yeah, that's a good safe one for you.
Yep.
It's not a great match for Thing.
No, but we're gonna go with we'll bring 2 Game of Thrones over here and we'll
good Scottish accent on Thing.
Yeah.
Could work.
Hey, Perfect Storm.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
I actually like my group. It's weird. They almost perfect connection there.
God,
all right.
I want to watch this Monkey Man.
Yeah, you should see the trailer. It looks really good. So this is our group. We've got Maisie Williams. We got Natalie Portman, Wolverine. Pretty good group over here.
Mm-hmm.
Western Groot.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway leading Johnny Depp and Cavill.
Oof, that's something. But remember, that team's not going to work together. So
yeah, the team's going to have trouble.
But that makes for good narrative, Peter.
Ooh, that's a good argument.
Yep.
All right. So what's everybody's vote?
I think the ace in the hole for my group is having that connection to Wakanda, right? Getting the vibranium on Deadpool and on Punisher and like Nightcrawler flashing people places like that. That is a big pull to have that on your team. So they might not need to work together, but if you throw vibranium on Punisher and he goes out on his own to do a thing, and you got some of the group doing another thing, like that could be brutal.
I think I only need Captain Marvel to answer that.
But Scarlet Witch, she's one of the strongest in the universe.
That's true. Very true. No, it's fine. It's totally understandable.
Mike's team, really?
I mean, Captain Marvel, that was hard to pass up. If anyone else was on that team, it would have been Marvel. But the Scarlet Witch is such a strong character.
For sure.
She's just strong.
That's true. You got 2 Game of Thrones people on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough because I do see Peter's team working more smoothly together. But if Mike's team could hold it together just long enough to do what they need to do, they might be more powerful. I'm not taking into account the vibranium thing. I mean, Groot can cover everybody in Groot armor. You can both play that whole thing. So I don't know.
But the witch will just warp your mind. Literally warp reality.
Mike on this one. Yeah, the warping reality is hard.
Well,
and then I didn't even think about that. And then go fourth wall with Deadpool.
Higher body count on Mike's. Yeah, but half of them is the team because they're killing each other.
They might kill each other. It's true.
Oh man.
Says the Mets fan. Look at Dave's comment.
That's fair. You got to think about the actors in these roles too.
Sure.
I think Natalie Portman in Daredevil is amazing.
That'd be pretty good, yeah.
kick ass.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, it looks like people are leaning towards Mike, and if you're thinking Peter, you better speak up. There's probably more things that Scarlet Witch has the power to give them. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, half. Yeah, I might have to go with Mike's team on this, just for sheer strength.
Don't sound so disappointing, Chris. Jeez.
I actually like Peter's casting better. Like, I want to see that movie, but I think watching the implosion of your team would be fun. Oh, there you go.
Nice. Thank you. Appreciate it.
He goes against the reject team. Yeah, so that is a good question. So if that team went up against this team, I don't know. I think Scarlet Witch already kind of messed with Thor. We already saw, and she wasn't even top of her game at that point. She just got in his head, and that was it. So I think the reject team is pretty strong, but not as strong as either one of these teams. Actually, I do think the reject team might be the best cast one, though, which is weird. It was just whatever was left over.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the best cast is this one.
No. You're wrong. God, I don't want to look at them.
The Thor combo is pretty crazy, though.
Yeah, the lightning and the storm. That is a pretty.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. They could both call down lightning.
Yep. It would be a very electrifying show.
Yeah, Peter's team would win in the movie.
I don't know.
They'd have to take out Scarlet real quick.
Yeah.
They can drive her crazy too. It depends on what level. At what point is Scarlet in there?
You cannot. I don't know if you could bet against Wolverine. So
it's true. Wolverine always keeps coming back.
Right.
If you had Wolverine and X on the same team, that's almost unbeatable. Right? With the adamantium and the regeneration and just the pure ferociousness. I don't know if they would, even with the mind melding or whatever, that'd be really hard to beat with those two.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this has nothing to do with art, but I thought it'd be fun.
I was nervous, but that was really fun. Picking the team was cool. Picking the cast was brutal, but picking the team was cool.
I knew you'd hate doing the cast part. That's why I put it.
I know. That reminds me of some of the shows I've watched of you two where I see the pain. So thanks for putting me through that.
Scarlet Witch literally speaks all that. Yeah. It depends on what power at what point, If she's just the Darkhold herself, then that's not fair. But okay, so should we get into our top 5? The whole thing that we said we were going to talk about?
Top 5 art?
Yes, top 5. What did we call this show anyway? It was the top 5 board games with the best art. Now, I have 5 things with 2 honorable mentions that I could stick in if somebody takes one of mine.
I have about the same. Got some honorable mentions.
Same.
You said you had 10, Mike.
I have my 5 with some honorable mentions.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're not saying the same amount.
No, I have my 5 with some extra in case we step on each other's toes.
So, any what rules did you put upon yourself, if any? Like, I actually found myself putting a few on there. Like, I didn't want to pick 2 games with the same artist.
I did something similar to that. Because I listed like some of I know it's not artist, but I thought about who I definitely wanted to see a game from on the list. So I used artist to drive the 5,
nice.
but picked their they're one I think that I need to call out.
Okay. I did our typical stuff that's close to us, not on the list thing, because I would talk about Yola's art for charcuterie for days. I would talk about Sandara's art for Flamecraft for days. It's just beautiful, like Dwellings and Andromeda's Edge. They're just beautiful universes that were created by those artists, and I think that would probably be my 5 right there. So like we don't talk about the stuff that we're kind of close to as a rule for at least me on the show, and with Chris's stuff.
I'm gonna highlight that with one game, but I'm gonna say that if I was picking for our stuff, Sandara's Flamecraft changed my life, so I would pick it 100%, and she knows that. So I don't have to like dedicate the show to her, but her art's amazing. So it's a no-brainer. But I have picked 5 others besides her. So
I generally try to keep the ones out that I've had some kind of connection to, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about them or point them out in honorable mentions and stuff like that.
There's one game on my list that I art directed, so it doesn't seem fair to put it on the list, but I didn't actually paint it, so I feel like it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, here we go.
What am I dedicating the show to?
Are we going to do honorable mention first, or are we just going to do them in?
Oh, we'll do honorable mention afterwards because it might be on people's lists.
Sure, if I have to put it. Okay, got it.
When we take Chris's number 1, he'll replace his number 1 with his number 7. So his 7 will really be his number 1, and it's weird. So
no, I'll just tell you that was my number 1, and here's my number 7 since I don't have to.
You don't go in any order, is that correct, Mike?
I do not. Mine will not be in any order. These are my 5 favorite board game art games.
Now, I know I give you shit every week about not putting your stuff in order. Mm-hmm. However, this one would be really great if you would just say which one was your very favorite. Like, you don't have to put them in all order. I would just really be interested in knowing at the end, whatever your most favorite out of all of that is. Can you pick one? It's just a challenge. You don't have to, but
that is a really tough call right there.
It is a tough one. Let's see how it goes. Maybe
it was really hard for me to put these in any order. I felt the struggle more than I usually do.
Yeah,
and they could almost easily move between each other and stuff like that. So I was just like, I know Mike doesn't normally do it, but I was just wondering how hard it would be for you.
Very hard.
It's really tough though, right? Because I mean, there's a lot that goes into this one. At least for me thinking about it, there's a lot that goes into this one because it's not just a piece of art on a card that you're looking at going, oh, this is really beautiful. I'd love to hang it up. With art, there's a lot more like bringing you into the world that this does, like the world generation of it, right? And there's some tremendous artists that do a really great job of creating that world that you're playing in. So it's this one, of all the things that we've done, I think this would probably be the one that would be hardest to put in a specific order because the games, the component, how you feel when you're playing the game, like there's a lot more that goes into this than just, this is my favorite deck builder. Like this one's got a lot more to it.
The other thing about it is I started staring at all of my board game walls when I was trying to figure it out, like which are the ones that I gravitated towards. And I will say that it's not always just cover either, right? So like I looked at a card, I was like, why am I not seeing more? Oh, because I'm remembering the whole experience or all the cards or the board or the things. So it's not, sometimes it has been a cover to make me stop in my tracks, but other times it's been the whole sum of the parts.
Right.
So it is hard to say one piece would be like, oh, that's definitely the best, because sometimes that the sum is definitely...
For me, it's a rare time when I go in the middle of a game, what artist did this? And look it up on my phone so I could look at some other stuff that they've done. And those moments stick in my head. So I believe it's happened for all 5 of these.
Oh wow.
And so that's why they're in there, and they might even be like, this one's all right for most people and stuff, but for whatever reason, I really like this style or something like that really popped into my head. So
I also, for my 5, each one of these drove me to buy it. I mean, granted.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that true with me? Let me see. Yes. Yeah.
The art direction one, something drove me to make it, but the other ones to buy it.
So were you looking at just the box cover like the art on the box cover drove you to buy the game, or the art in the game drove you to buy the game?
It's both. I'm going to explain when I get to each one, but there is something about that art, and sometimes it was the cover, and sometimes it was just something about that artist that drove me, or that whole presentation. I had to have it.
Cool.
This is also very true.
Yeah, 5 number ones. Because there have definitely been times where the box cover art drew me to the game, and then when you open it up and you get it out there, you're like, wait, what? Like, it feels like there's a different game in the box than the box cover presented, right? Like, it's lacking art, it doesn't have the right, and whatever the reason is, like, it happens, but the box cover can be misleading.
Yeah, definitely. When James put up his list, there was a box cover in there that blows me away. But I don't know what else is in there. It could be other things in there, but I don't know.
It's that comic book effect where like they got a different artist to do the cover, and then you open it up and you're like, oh, they had to make this in one, 2 or 3 weeks, so it's not as detailed as that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's start with our number 5. Who wants to go first? Who's eager to talk about their number 5?
We let the guest lead.
Yeah. Peter?
All right. So this game was an insta-back when I saw it. And it's an interesting artist that I wasn't that familiar with. But it is Galactic Cruise. Ian O'Toole. I don't have the box with me. I just have like the vibe of one of the expansion packs. But he drew the rocket with parts of it open that you could kind of get the whole vibe of the game. Like, we are going somewhere on a journey. There's interesting things about what you're going to do inside the rocket. It just captivated me immediately. I just had to play this game. I had to know more about this game. I looked up a lot of, since then, I was like, I know Ian O'Toole, right? And it's like, yeah, all the Gallerist, all of the, Voidfall. So basically has done many, many games that are big box games. And this one just, I don't know, it really definitely was an interesting piece to me for a cover. It made me want to flip around to the back, made me want to get in to play this game. So
yeah, it's such a beautiful kind of it feels like whenever the 50s were like, this is what the future will look like. That kind of feel. Yeah.
I wouldn't have ever thought to divide the rocket up. If someone had asked me to art direct and say, well, we're going to do the bottom of the rocket's going to be like blueprint, or it's just going to have, I would be like, no, that's not a good, that's not going to work. But he nailed it. Like, just nailed it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, this whole thing is beautiful. The production, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous game.
It's a great game too. I played it at KublaCon. Unfortunately, a lot of these pictures are either TTS or
this is one of those games where, it's funny as I talk to them, and I was like, is this gonna be one of those games where like the cover is like kind of the like everything else is more of a schematic. But it's fine. The cover alone did get me really interested in the game, and then I found out the game is great. So the art did its job.
And I'll say that the graphic design carries it through at least. It all feels like one unified thing, even with the cover. Yeah.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, great pick. Cool. Is that me, or let's go the other way? Let's go, Mike.
Go the opposite way. All right, it's opposite. Let's do that. All right.
Yeah.
So I noticed on my list, I usually come out of the gate, or I have something on my list that's just it's up in the 6, 7, 8 thousands on BGG, and It's a hard one to find kind of game. And looking at my list and the rankings of what I pulled, this was a more focused list because of the art, and I don't know what that says about the games. Like they're higher ranked than some stuff that I've normally picked for gameplay, like whatever the mechanisms or theme or whatever it is. I noticed that these were higher on the list than my normal, like this one's ranked 10,000, this one's ranked 8,000. You're never gonna find this game ever again. But I am going to come out with a lower on my list one. It's one of my favorite artists. I love everything that they put on game covers in games, just the style that they do. But I'm one step further with this game and how it plays. So it's ranked 2362 on BGG. It's Bosk, Bosk. I know Matty P worked on it because I remember having a conversation with him on how the trees go together. But Kwanchai Moria is his art style, the color palettes, everything that like talk about grabbing a box. This game, anything he does is amazing. But and looking at that, it doesn't really look great. Like if you just look at the board, go back to the board bit.
Yeah.
Have you guys played Bosk?
No, not yet.
I played with you on the show, I think. You and Dane.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was moving the pieces around the top view, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So the board starts out. So there's two things about it. One, the cover art is beautiful. The Easter egg of having Erica and Daryl on the cover that he did was brilliant. But I love the color palette, and I love the way the gameplay is smart and intuitive, and it's fun. But what this game does from an artistic perspective is the board starts off plain, right? You go back to the board for a second. It just starts with nothing on it. And you have all the components in your little box, right? All your trees, all the leaves, everything. Then as you play all 4 seasons of a year. And in the spring, you plant the trees. And the trees are going out on the board like that, on the vertices of the rows and columns. And they have a hierarchy. There's a 1 through 4, and everyone has 2 of each number. And you're planting them in a certain way that makes sense later on in the game with an area control feature. But you're just planting these trees. So the board starts off plain. Then you're putting all these trees out there in the spring. Yeah. Then in the summer, the guide, the trail people are going to walk the trails, and you're going to get points based on whoever has majority in the rows and the columns. So if I'm playing orange and I have a 4 and a 3 in one of the columns, my total is 7. And if Peter's playing the purple and just has a 4 in that column, well, I got first place, Peter's got second place. And you do that for every column and every row. And then you get your points for the summer. But then in the fall, as does with trees, maybe not in Texas, but in most places, leaves fall off the trees. So then you start playing the game where you're playing these cards, and the cards have numbers on them, and that's however many leaves are going to fall from one of your trees in the direction of the wind, and the wind is going in different directions for 8 rounds. So then you have this aesthetic where the board starts off plain, then you have all these trees, and at the end of the spring, all of our trees are out on the board. Then throughout the fall, you're planting you're taking all the leaves and putting them in a certain direction of the wind, and then pulling your tree off it. So in the winter scoring, so you're scoring in the summer and then you're scoring in the winter. The winter's an area majority scoring, but there's no trees on the board. It's all the leaves that you've now put down, and you're doing a bird's eye view scoring of it. The squirrel's a special case which jumps out of a tree and lands on a pile. But you have this flow of the game that starts off with nothing on the board, then all these trees are blossoming all over the board, and then you see the trees start to come off the board being replaced by leaves that have now gone out in the wind direction. And it's a beautifully done game from an aesthetic perspective, and the color palette with Kwanchai's art it just brings this game quite literally off the table. It's beautiful the way this game plays through.
Yeah, Kwanchai is amazing. If I was putting a Kwanchai game on my list, Bosk looks amazing. I would have put Dinosaur Island, because I remember thinking, what is this game that looks like 80s pink, crazy, like, but he knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
Every time. So this is
and his art style is tremendous, right? Like anything that Quanchai has done is just beautiful.
Yeah.
But this game specifically, the way the table presence changes throughout the game makes this game so much more present than normal games. Like it actually matters, and you see the game change over a year. Like you see the trees blossom, then you see the leaves come off the trees. It's just a beautiful flow of a game.
Very nice. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Can't argue against either one of those. Those are great picks.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stick with the nature theme.
Okay.
Nice.
Mostly because it's my number 5. I'm not really picking it based off of what you said, but and I'm gonna go with a real softball here. It's probably a lot of people's favorites, or at least a lot of people's favorite artist, and it's Everdell. I love the world of this little thing. I mean, you can look at, I mean, even the cards are like the bats hanging there, and then he has his own little clock tower. The color palettes are the same for the creature and the place that they belong to.
That's a good call.
It's always interesting seeing this little world start to develop as you play. I know it's a real popular game and stuff. Everybody knows how to play it. Well, not everybody, but if you don't, it's a tableau game that you're building, and it's also worker placement. It's actually really tight, and the first time I ever played it, I missed a rule that said take back your workers at the end of every season. So I played extreme hard mode, which was once the worker went to a spot, that spot was dead for the rest of the game.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was a tough game.
Brandon
we got maybe like 5 cards out for the whole game.
Brandon has Bosley. Yes. Andrew Bosley.
Yeah. Andrew Bosley.
Bosley on my list, but not for this game. This is an amazing pick, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was really hard to pick which one of his I would feature. I almost went Tapestry because I love that cover.
Yeah, that's a good cover.
I've watched if you look on YouTube, he has the paint thing where he starts from scratch, and it's a speed painting, I think it's called there. And you can watch it. It's amazing because I love watching go, why did you choose to do that? Oh, you decided not to do that because now it's this color. I like watching that stuff. I like trying to think about what their thought processes are while they're doing it. And the way he starts stuff is amazing. So, I love the entire world that this is made. And of course, it kind of kicked off the whole everything's little forest dweller creatures now, but that's fine.
There were forest dweller creature games before Everdell.
There were.
With creatures.
What was that?
We shouldn't do a game with forest creatures? Is that what you're telling me?
No, we definitely should.
At least one more.
At least one more can be done.
The finale one. We should do one finale.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my number 5.
Nice.
Peter, what's your number 4?
Well, speaking of somebody who will do a forest creature game eventually, I have a game from Sergio Chavez as my number 4.
Ooh, nice.
I almost did it.
Rise of Tribes is a game that I worked on, and I can't resist, though. This cover is amazing. This game should have gotten more attention for its art, but it did get quite a bit. He did this thing with the leaders. I have to tell the story about Sergio, which is that we hired him because he had painted this amazing landscape. And I said, we're going to have you do the background and we're going to have somebody else do the characters. And he's like, give me a shot at the characters. Just let me have a shot. And I'm so glad that we did, because what he did was he took these characters and he said, I'm going to take this, Stone Age character, but I'm going to put all the Mayan culture, lore into their aura. Like, holy crap. That is it's so gorgeous. A lot of the components being shown here, but the leader art.
I know I'm trying to find the leader art a little closer because that's what we're focusing on, but
yeah. It's hard to. He did paint amazing backgrounds for each leader. so that you get different zones, different characters. But apparently, the BGG folks need to actually showcase the art instead of the components.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have mammoth meeples to play with,
I mean, right?
You're going to get a lot of pictures of that.
Like, he has here. I'll show you.
There you go.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites right there. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So I think Serge did an amazing job. We've continued to work with Serge. Another one that was kind of amazing too. Just the character art being brought out in these. I've worked with him ever since because he's amazing. He did the art for Andromeda's Edge, which I could have easily featured as well, but I thought Rise of Tribes. That's one of the ones that I think he nailed and has since gotten many other art jobs, including Dwellings of Eldervale, Mission Catastrophe, Spirit Fire. He's just had so many different games since then.
That's beautiful.
Rise of Tribes is a beautiful game, and he nailed it on the whole. But both amazing landscapes and really mystical, interesting characters. So,
well, and the gameplay in this one, that main board with the dice selection, like that is it's so smart.
I think that game had it all. I don't know what's happened to it since, but yeah, that cover would have got me to flip over, and that definitely was part of it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a gorgeous game to work on. Yeah, great pick. I almost took it off my shelf too. I was like, wait, I worked on that one.
Right? You get to feel pretty cool that we're part of it. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Okay, Mike, what's your number 4?
All right. I'm gonna go to Andrew Bosley again.
Okay. Oh man. Is he going to be the most featured artist on our lists?
I'm sure this other one's going to be talked about, but this one's a little lesser known.
Okay.
I'm staying in the Floodgate catalog for a second.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Oh. Vivid Memories.
Yep.
Vivid Memories. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
So this one has you remembering things from your youth, right? So you have beautiful art by Bosley. Another one of my favorites. Quanchai and Bosley are just their forces. But the idea is you're remembering things that you did when you were younger. So the way the game plays, you have this board, this central board, and it represents your brain. And you're trying to connect different nodes together of your brain to remember, wait, what was I doing? Or what did I think that pull cart was? Or, oh, that's right, I was riding on an elephant. So that main board there represents your brain, and you're using those bits, production's through the roof. You're using those bits to connect different parts of your brain to remember what you were doing. But what works in this game is those tiles. On one side of the tile, I want to open up mine, but on one side of the tile is what you were doing. So I don't know if there should be like a back and front kind of picture of this, but for example, the one with the dragon, if you go back a couple and you see the one with the dragon, there was a Star Wars reference in one of these two. Go back and I think one or two more. So there's the one with the dragon. Cool. That one with the dragon, that's what you remember. That's what you were pretending you were doing. But on the other side of that card is you flying a kite, and the kite's representing the dragon, and so the back and forth of those tiles was so smart in the selection of how, like, what you're doing. And then like one's giving you a little bit of information and the other one is telling you what you were doing. The one right there with the to the right with the troll.
That one was the Rancor, right?
It was it was a Star Wars one. So if you can slide a little bit, can you slide more to the right?
No.
Damn it. So there's the one. Actually, it's not even in the box.
You mean the one on the right there? Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So here's that tile.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, cool.
Right. So this is face up in the market. This is what you're looking at, and what it's telling you here is what's on the back, like what you're going to get how you're going to get your points, but you also have a special action. But that's what you were doing. You were holding this stick and you were going up against this shrubbery, right? Then when you do the thing and it becomes yours, you flip it over and it's what you were like, what was in your mind. So there's your laser sword fighting the Rancor. But that back and forth of every one of these had something, right? You playing on the beach and you being the lord of the castle or whatever it is, the back and forth of those things, the art, the it really brings you into the memory, the recall of your memory. The gameplay was super sleek. I love the puzzling nature of how you're going to put those bits on your brain and connecting your brain. But the art in this one just made it feel so much better than this abstract kind of puzzle. It actually brings you into like, oh yeah, I remember doing that. Like I remember flying kites and thinking they were dragons, and Bosley just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, sounds like it. I mean,
excellent pick.
Because of the other pick, I'm starting to think about how much Bosley's connecting the card play together, which is great. You know, with Everdell noticing the location and the character, and then this one saying, "I'm going to get the two memories to be the same shapes," and then yeah, really cool.
That was great. The other thing they did, they had a playmat, and the playmat fit in the box, and it's just their standard kind of box. It wasn't anything bonkers, but the playmat fit in it, which the dual layer board and the bits were nice and chunky in the bag, and just beautiful stuff.
The playmat like right in the box.
Yeah,
you know, it's amazing. I love that.
Right?
Yeah,
that's great.
That's the best right there.
Yeah. So Vivid Memories. This is the same thing with. I think Rise of Tribes has a better following, but Vivid, I don't know if it was a COVID thing depending on when it came out, kind of like Holy from Julio Nazario. Like it just didn't really have a proper con circuit thing because the world was weird. This game was it's just beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous. Good pick. So far nice. I want to own both of your picks, and I don't, so I'm going to work on that.
Good.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I'm almost jealous that you have that over my Bosley one because I'm just saying it's such a good illustration of flipping them and stuff that I might have put that above Everdell. I kind of just went, oh, Everdell, Bosley, and then moved on to other stuff. I should have thought more on that because I might have matched it on it.
There is a list of games that Bosley's worked on that is just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
You can't go wrong with them.
Nope.
But Vivid is the right pick, so good job.
Someday to get to work with Andrew Bosley on a game for Cardboard Alchemy, that'd be amazing. But I think he's booked up for several years making his own games, because now he's got a book that he illustrated and crowdfunded and signed that IP to, I think, 6 Stonemaier games. Basically,
wow.
Several games happening with Bosley's universe. Yeah,
smart on both parts.
I know, right? It's it's a great combo.
Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so on my number 4, we'll step away from Bosley, probably, maybe not for the last time.
No.
But we'll step away from that, and we'll talk about a game I have not yet played, and I want to play it because I missed the Kickstarter, and it was unfortunate. It was one of those things where sometimes you go a few weeks or a month without looking at Kickstarter, and you're like, "What? That's the one time I missed it." Mm-hmm. So I missed it, and then I haven't gotten the deluxe, and I want the deluxe. I don't want the normal one. But so I've never played it, and I don't own it, but I love the art. And it's funny that James was in here earlier.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if anything I was sold immediately just on the art itself whenever I saw the campaign, right? It's one of those things where I was like, ooh, I'm going to back this. Let me wait to see what happens. And then I forgot to wait to see what happens. Missed it.
Talk about yeah.
Yeah, and then the price for it as it is now, it's unfortunate. But I mean, the artwork. Yeah, the artwork is just phenomenal.
I'm gonna give away that this was my number 1 because Mr. Cuddington, I mean, they create the entire world. I mean, even if you look at the original Kickstarter, they animated the trailer of the character like just scooping like into the water, and it's gorgeous. The thing is gorgeous.
Yep.
Tidal Blades is fantastic, probably one of the best ones ever done on a game. So I agree.
Tidal Blades is my numbers 1 through 5.
1 through 5. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
There's an aerial shot or something here that I was trying to find.
They think about the entire product too. It's everything on the entire board surface, every piece put together, how it's gonna feel, the whole thing. They really do.
Yeah, stellar product. It's one of those few games that I'm sad I don't have in my collection, and probably won't because of the price that's out there and stuff. Yeah. But
I have the first one. It's just such a massive box too.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Yeah,
there it is. That's the image I was really looking for. I love this image.
That's amazing.
Beautiful. Yep.
But it makes you want to visit that world.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
I have. I would also like to work with them on a game. 100%. I have a game in mind as well, so I'm going to keep trying to convince them to make it. Because they're just such a great team.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, beautiful art. One of the best.
All right, Peter. What's your? Sorry, I took your number 1.
Fine, I will pivot and we'll put something else in number 1, or I'll just talk about a different Mr. Cuddington game, which is no problem.
See, that's how you do it.
Number 3 could easily be number 1. I'm just gonna say I don't have the cover with me, but I'm gonna show this little box.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, this Manny Tremblay did such an amazing. This is a. I saw the Wonderland's War and I had to have it because that right there is very iconic. Like, what is happening with Alice in Wonderland with that image? But I could gush about what's on the inside with the way the boards are done and each character's personality comes to life, and just even if you take the board itself, which is a tea party. I would, like the way the characters move on that table. Just thought everything about that was well done.
Yep.
Yeah, the art in that is gorgeous. Now I know that Manny. I've never actually met Manny, but I was talking to Gavin at Roxley about Manny, and I didn't even connect the dots about Dice Throne being Manny. But holy crap, that's a great career. Like, has studied a lot of classic Disney and other animation and can really bang out character. So if you look at Dice Throne and all the things that Manny's been able to pull off with Dice Throne and just achieve character, it happens here with Alice in Wonderland characters as well.
Yep.
Just nailed it. The other thing that I guess Manny did is Roth, which was on with his own game design and art. But this one, this is my pick because I think the whole package made me want this game immediately.
Yeah.
This was Ian Moss brought a prototype copy of this to the first QsCon in 2019.
Yeah.
And was playtesting it with the community, and everyone was like, this game's going to be great. And it had some art. It didn't have all of the art, and it did not have any of the components and the chips and the trays and everything that they threw into it.
It went overboard.
It did so well in just prototype form with the community. Then you put the product out there with that cover art and the components, and it's a, like you said, the package is just stellar.
Yeah. When I'm looking at, when I got started and I was trying to figure out like who am I following, I mean, definitely because we were just talking about James. And the last 2 games featured have been Druid City products. They're gorgeous because the whole package is there, but this one for just nailed it on art for sure.
Yeah, fun game too.
Yeah, really fun. Yeah,
Okay.
the whole package is there.
I'm looking forward to the new one, the Mad Kala.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that one to show up.
Yeah, is that 2-player only?
I think so.
Because I don't normally go for 2-player, but I was like, I have to buy everything in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
Yeah.
Mike, what's your number 3?
Good pick. All right. So yeah, I gotta go with this one. That one's gonna be a little bit of a cheat, but I'll be okay. So this one's just a deck of cards, but the art in it, to go to this length of what you did to get the art into this game, it's beautiful, and it's something that I haven't seen yet at this time. I think there's another one that came out that does something very similar, but not as it's cute, but not like this one. This is the first time I saw something like this happen. It's sea salt and paper.
Oh, that's a really interesting choice.
Right? So every card has an origami, like it's real. Like that's a real, they made it and then they took a picture of it for the game of every one of the things. And Pixies did the same thing with acorn hats and creatures in the woods and stuff, but having the origami to begin with and then put it into a card that becomes this realistic kind of image, right? The fish in the water and it's beautiful. It's a specific card game. It's got your set collection. It's super quick. You're playing it really quickly. The iconography works, but that as an art piece, like it's not drawn, but it's made and it's handmade, literally. It's just beautiful.
It is really great.
Yeah, it's still art. I
Sure.
totally argue that it's art. Yeah.
No, every one of these is art. But like the whole package is art, right? We put together art in a box for people to play with. Sure. But this is like constructing physical pieces in a way to photograph it into what it needs to be aesthetically. It's just beautiful. Like that is when we talked about this on the Gen Con preview. I think it was maybe 2 years ago. This was like one of the ones I wasn't leaving Gen Con without, just because of the way it looked. It was just like to take the time to go through it and make this stuff. Like it's just beautiful.
I still haven't played this.
It's good. It's quick. It's good though.
Let's play it on in TrainCon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have it? Because I don't have it.
I do have it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
good one.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's great. Pixies does it too. Pixies it's got the same kind of aesthetic where they're bits that are put together to make the art. And then it's just a 3x3 grid where you're trying to like connect stuff. This one's got a little bit more to it with the set collection and the actions that the certain things can do, but that as an art piece is just, it's beautiful. It's absolutely, it's a beautiful representation of a crab around rocks or fish in the ocean or a swimmer or whatever it is. It's just beautiful. And it's origami. It's great.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really like those cards.
Yeah. Good pick. I like seeing something that's beyond the normal digital or, hand drawn.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Hey, Andrew.
Andrew.
What's up?
Okay, so my number 3 is the oldest one in my group.
Okay.
Might be the oldest amongst all of us because it didn't have a lot of competition for this kind of like strong art at the time, and it was talked about quite a bit. Now it's kind of like there's a lot of games that kind of look like this, because I feel like this was maybe the first or one of the first at least, and it's Seasons.
Oh, it's on my list. That was probably the next one I was talking about. Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow.
Seasons is the first game that I ever said, who is the artist for this? Because they put so much effort into each card. I was like, there's no way. I mean, first of all, I love the characters and stuff on it and stuff like that, but there's a lot of work done just to make a book, and it's one single card. And I was just blown away that someone took that much.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the detail and stuff. This is one card in the entire game, and it's a whole card game, a whole bunch of cards in this game, and it's like.
I think what's really funny about that is that, like, I remember doing that for Dwellings of Eldervale, and then looking back, and I was like, was that worth it? Does anyone ever pay attention to if every card's different?
Yeah.
Sometimes you do. You're like, every card. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course it helps that the art is gorgeous, but I mean, I at least know enough to know how many hours hard work went into each one of those drawings. I was just blown away by a game having that much detailed art in it at the time. Now we get it a lot, right?
Yeah.
But this is the first one that hit me with it.
Very nice.
I love those dice.
This is one of my favorite games. I think it came out in 2012. It's ranked 320. I haven't even been talking about the ranking. It's ranked 329 on BGG currently. Like it's been holding it. It's got 2 expansions I've never played with because the base game, when you teach it to people, it's got the chunky dice. It's just easy to get into, and the art is like it's beautiful art.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe that 300 hanging at 300 is amazing.
Yep.
It is.
Yeah, there's 3. I don't know who did the art. Like we were talking about the last one, Sea Salt and Paper. There's 2 artists labeled, so I don't know if one's a photographer and one's the sculptor or how it is. And this Seasons has 3 people listed, so I don't know who to credit on this one. But it's beautiful. And the cover, like you said with Tidal Blades, like you want to go to that location.
Yeah.
Like that just I want it. Like that just looks like a really cool waterfall to go visit on a hike. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah, I've always been blown away that there aren't more games in this world. It's like when you establish this much artwork and this much work into making a beautiful world, how do you not get more games into it, right?
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, that's my number 3.
Nice.
Great pick and a great game. It's still one of my favorite games.
Number 2, Peter. Where are you going?
Well, this game, I'm going to get 2 artists in 1.
Oh, you're doing it. Are you doing it?
You're taking it, yeah.
I am doing it. 100%. This was one of the greatest ideas ever, is to get 2 amazing artists and put them in one game and one product. And it deserves all of the accolades it's probably going to get this year for art, for gameplay, for components. So this was an instant. As soon as I heard that Vincent Dutrait and Andrew Bosley were going to be mashed together. Now, I actually talked to Andrew Bosley about that story. And the game was originally only going to have Bosley do it. But he was too busy. He was very, very swamped, and he said, "Hey, I could do 1/2."
Oh.
And then they were like, "Okay, we'll get someone to do the other half." And what a combo, right?
Yeah.
What a combo. So I was going to open this one pack because there's some cards that, because I haven't opened all of the content. I just have the main game open.
There's a lot in that game.
But like, so much cool stuff.
Where you get the foil cards,
foil cards with all this like really cool artwork on it. But I love the fact that they divided up, nightmares and some of the more, the characters between the 2 artists, and so you're getting like the nightmare world and just an amazing production. Of course, I'm sure it was really fun for both of them to get into it, especially for Bosley to do all of the. I mean, you can go anywhere with those scenes. So,
yeah, pairing them up, having Dutrait with his art style being the realistic, and having Bosley with his art style be the dreamscapes or whatever, like that. That seems like it was a well thought out plan to begin with. Now to hear that it only happened because Bosley was too busy. That's just a blessing, right? To have that happen at that time, because it seems like such a perfect marriage.
I told them, I said, don't take this the wrong way, because I would have backed it if it was just you, but it became a slam dunk when I heard when it was like, because now that makes me want to do that at Cardboard Alchemy, is to take two people and go like, Mr. Cuddington and Sonora Tag. Just like that.
That's a win right there.
Right.
I remember talking about this on the show, on what I was one of our preview shows whenever this game was coming out, and Chris and I were immediately like, how beautiful is it to have those two together in that kind of style? Like, this was before, I don't think I knew anything about it when we talked about it, and it just it's a great,
oh man, the production thing too.
Yeah.
I'll also do like a small honorable mention for Vincent Dutrait, because this would have been another game, because we've talked a lot about Bosley and well deserved, but this could have been a potential Vincent Dutrait best art, because it made me, it's just really interesting. Glow is another Glow. Yeah, have you never seen this one?
That's beautiful. It's such an underrated gem of a game.
Right?
It's a beautifully looking game too.
Yeah, the fact that you've got just using black and white in such an interesting way, and then when the color pops in, it's on purpose. So, but I was happy to get a Vincent Dutrait and a Bosley in one go. I mean, Unconscious Mind is the whole package. Like, we're John Hedges in definitely in contention for a couple awards, but I noticed that every time we're there, Unconscious Mind is right there, which is well deserved.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous, 100% gorgeous.
It's a little unfair, actually. Both of them involved.
Thank you. Just two.
Yeah. Glow is gorgeous. Glow definitely could have been on the list. So Vincent, haven't ever worked with Vincent except for on one thing, which is kind of fun. We're making because I love art so much, I was thinking about the Cardboard Alchemy logo with a different potion bottle done by different artists. So Andrew Bosley created one potion bottle for us, and Vincent Dutrait did one potion bottle for us. So I can't wait to share that trailer sometime. We have our logo changing with different art. Yeah, but both of them are great. So this is a good combo.
All right, Mike, beat that.
That's hard to do, because that is on my list, and between seasons and that getting taken, those are hard. Those are hard ones to get to rebound from. I will do it, but it's going to be a hard one to do. All right, I got it. I got to do it then. This next one. So I've seen this one start to come into existence. It's going to be a preview at Origins, but it's going to be, I think, maybe released at Gen Con, or it's not coming until after. It was on Kickstarter. It was by our friends from Envy Board Games, Matthew Ryan. If you know Matthew Ryan, he's amazing. If you don't, look up his TikTok videos. They'll make you laugh every time. He's usually the one you'll see with a fanny pack, maybe in a shower, maybe not. But he's got a game coming out that's Hercules and the 12 Labors. And the art in that, with the foil pop, like the choice of putting the foil into the cards, the art's beautiful. But then you have each of the 12 Labors has cards that, like, that's two cards right there. And the way the dice move and the way the hits work and the way you have to attack the Labor, whatever it is, the Nemean Lion or whatever you're going up against, the art and the foil, the pop of foil, and the graphic design that is put into this game, it is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful in person. The pictures don't do it justice. We had him on the show, and he was showing a little bit of, like, trying to make the foil pop and stuff. It is absolutely gorgeous in person. And the gameplay, the style, the way it's a solo game, but the way the cards lay out and the way that they're all different, right? They're organized a little bit differently. They fight back a little bit differently. It is a stunning looking game, and the choice of the foil makes this game look even better. Don't touch.
Yeah, I don't play solo games, so I still backed it because of the art. Well,
It's
and
beautiful.
good for it, but
It looks absolutely beautiful, and I'm telling you, the foil. I mean, there's a lot. It would look fine without the foil. The art is beautiful, but
Yeah.
adding that little bit of pop when you're organizing the cards, and it's kind of like the card layout is asymmetrical, right? Like usually you think of a card game or you're laying out cards in a tableau or in a certain way, and this one does it a little like that's a little funky layout. Like having the one going vertical and the one going horizontal is something I don't think I've seen in games where you're laying out a thing that you're battling against in a certain way, and they're different, right? The birds were 4 across. This one's 2 on top of each other. It's a beautifully looking game, and I mean I can't wait for it.
Wow, that's really cool.
nice. Yeah, good pick.
It just looks great. It really does look great. What are you doing?
That's on Backer Kit. I wonder if they're still open if people want to jump on that or not.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I just filled out the form, so they probably are.
Yeah, it's possible. I think I did mine quite early. But yeah, this one, yeah, like Spicy and Coyote, they and that the Skyrise. I mean, Roxley just in general just does amazing stuff. But that little pop of color in the right spots, it's different than like a UV kind of cover. Like adding that little like this, it really the gold, right? And you think of Hercules and it's such a great pairing.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
Good
it was
pick.
part of Pocketopia.
Yeah, him and Ammon were the pair in that one.
Nice.
Who's the artist on this one?
David Schneider. So it says David Schneider art, and I reached out to Matthew to figure out like why it's one. Apparently, someone took David Schneider's name. Why are you looking at that?
Because it said he also did this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But it looks kind of the same, so that's interesting. Yeah,
I can back it right now.
The 12 Labors is I mean, it's a solo game, which will turn off people if they don't play solo games. You could probably play it with 2 players and make your choices together, but the art alone, like that is a piece of art. The art, the style, like each card, it's just beautiful.
A little pop of color.
Nice. Oh, don't say that, Evan. Don't give me that.
Very nice. All right. Well, my number 2 was obviously taken from me with Unconscious Mind. Dutrait is, I've said before, is my number 1 artist. So I'm just going to substitute it with another Dutrait, my favorite Dutrait, which is Detective City.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And not only, I almost did just do this one. I feel like I put this on too many lists. So I was like, oh, no, I'll definitely do Unconscious Mind because you got the combination. It's beautiful and all that stuff. But this whole game is about being a detective and the whole film noir thing. And the art makes it so much. It helps you get into it, right? And there's not even as much as you would think because it's really just characters and cards that you come across per.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so it's like this stuff, right?
Yeah.
You come across these individuals and little information about who they are and things sitting on desks and stuff like that. It's just, I mean, he could just make something like this look awesome. The artwork gets you right. Like I don't even need to read the text down here to know what this guy is. This whole character, that character alone tells you everything you need to know about that guy. It's it gets you right into the world. You're instantly in film noir, all that stuff. I love Dutrait's work, and this is the game that definitely got me looking at his stuff. I love also all the cases have the novel, the bad novel stuff.
That's a good idea.
No, that's kind of cool. That's a good idea.
Go. You're not listening, so you can't stay here.
So yeah, my number 2 was Unconscious Mind, but I'll mention Detective City of Angels because it needs to be in all my list apparently.
Yeah, it was on mine. It was definitely, if you got, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't talk about it, but it was going to be on mine. Go upstairs.
All right, Peter.
Thank you.
Down to your number one, your favorite of all time.
Well, yes. Number
Don't
one,
listen to him, Peter.
I was going to give to Tidal Blades because Mr. is amazing. I'll briefly say some other Mr. Cuddingtons, but then I'm going to toss it off to another game. Because I could say Grim Forest also blew me away. I backed instantly because of what they did on that game. Charterstone, I backed instantly because of what they did on that game. I mean, I just think that Mr. Cuddington deserves a lot of credibility. But I noticed that on our list, we don't have as many women artists up there. So while I could, I mean, of course, I could still bring her up. I could still do it. But I'm going to bring up. This is an interesting pick, I think. But Beth Sobol has done a lot of games, and what I really liked about this one is, I mean, she's done Wingspan.
Upstairs now.
She has done Lanterns, which I remember way back when.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really like is that she had her own art that was then captured in Herbaceous. Basically, she was making something, and then I like when it, like the same thing I was talking about Bosley making something for him first. I really think that this was a pretty. This game became more, like the sum of all of its parts. I think this is one of the biggest games that Pencil First had after a while, because it just hit an audience that was like, whoa, you can make games that are like this.
Go upstairs.
Thank you, Eric, by the way, for mentioning that they do that duo there. So by shouting out Mr. Cuddington, that's actually true. But I've always wanted to work with Beth on a game. Almost did at one game at Breaking Games. Didn't end up doing so, but always brings a lot of really interesting. I have one of the best pieces of art in our office where it's like that BGG artist series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beth did the art for Castles Burgundy.
Yeah.
And that's a really good interpretation. So, but I think I'll just mention Herbaceous because it's a very different one. I mean, I could mention Wingspan, but Herbaceous
as my number 6, like backup, was Path of Light and Shadow, and that's Beth Sobol as well.
I thought about that. I thought about how you that's one of your favorites, and she did that one too.
But she's probably out of all the artists we've mentioned, I would say she's the most versatile, because there are times where you're looking at artwork and you're like, oh, that's Dutrait, that's Cuddington and stuff like that. But she can do so many different styles.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at this, and then you look at Path of Light and Shadow, which looks like this.
Yeah,
that's insane to be able to do those different things. So no, good pick.
Great pick.
Mike, what's your favorite one of all time, better than all the others?
So you asked me to pick a number one. If I could pick a number one.
Okay.
So I've left this one as my number one for reasons.
Wow.
Let me mark down the note.
You're not going to like it because it's very vague.
Huh.
Okay.
My number one art in board games of all time, if forced to rank it, would be anything by Ryan Lockett.
That's
anything.
Amazing
pick game. I picked Above and Below. Above and Below was the first game I played from his universe. I am a huge fan of all of them. I love the world. I love the art. I love the human. I love what he does. I love that it's a family thing. But the art style that he created in this world is beautiful. I mean, it brings you in. Being a narrative game is even better because now the characters have life, the world has life. But the art style that he chose with this was I hadn't seen it. Like, that's just, that cover alone is amazing. But you pick any one of Ryan Lockett's games in this universe, Rome is still an underrated gem. ROAM, not ROME, ROAM is still an underrated gem if you can find it. I know it was just in whatever the Kickstarter was that they just did. I forgot that one. That was an add-on that you can do. If you can get that game, it's phenomenal. I think it's just a beautiful game. The story's great, the gameplay's great, but anything in Ryan Lockett's universe, that universe, is just amazing. I love it.
I think it's kind of unfair. I mean, like, he's got publishing and design and art. And he's done modeling too. Done modeling as well on one of his games. I remember. Oh my god, so talented.
Yeah. If you could, I mean, when I first was playing games, like you find out that not only the narrative, it's not just Ryan. There were other people that were helping out in Above and Below too, and they're credited. But you got the art, you've got the game design, you've got the development, you've got the narrative. Like, Ryan is just this anomaly of a package that puts this stuff together, and it was amazing growing up with the industry as late as I was into it, and finding out that there was this person that did all of these things together. I love the universe. I love the art style. I love, like, you're in and you're only seeing like the bust of a person, like the chest up. But any pick anything. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the characters come back in various ones too. Get the frog people.
Yep.
I was about to jump on you for picking, just some artists and all their stuff and all, but this is the one that you can get away with it because it's all one world. Correct. And it's all one style and it's all one. This is the one time where all of them look kind of like the same board game, right?
You can't fight me. The thing was board games with the best art, and you could pick any one of Ryan's board games, and I believe of them, they have the best art. It's just
if you play Islebound, which is one of my favorites of his, and ironically one of the few that people haven't played that much. If you play Islebound, he has cards in there that if you play on this side, it's in the Islebound, but you can flip them over and play with them in Above and Below. That's cool. How integrated games are. So I can't give any guff about.
It's great. It's great, and I can't. I'll talk about Rome as much as I can. That game, the way that the game plays, the narrative, they're under a spell and they're roaming. Right, the villagers are roaming under this spell, and we have to go out and find them and bring them back to the village. So the way the game plays, it's still in that same art style. But when I played that, because I think that came out a few years after. I think Above and Below was 14-ish. Rome was 19-ish. But when I played this game, in my head, the characters that I played along with through Above and Below were some of the characters that were now out in roaming around under this spell that you're bringing back to the village that we were in and about. Like, it's all just so connected so well. Not only in narrative, but in style and it's the aesthetic of it. It's just a beautiful thing that Ryan's created.
Yeah, Rome is the only one of his games that is on my still to learn shelf.
Oh wow!
It's in plastic.
Move it up as high and quickly as possible. It's an underrated gem. It's so good.
Huh, I gotta play this game.
Cool. Well, it's a small box. Maybe I should bring it and we can play it.
It's got a little bit of a table presence though, right? Because I think you're doing a 3x3, 3x2 grid, and then you have your characters that you're building. So it does take up a little bit of table. So you can't really play it on like a
small table
drop down tray, but it's not a complicated game. It's really easy in its delivery, but a lot of fun.
What was that, Peter?
I think the snack car will have a big enough table in the train.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Cool. All right. Well, down to the last one, my number one. I'm surprised nobody brought it up.
I knew you were going to bring this up. It's beautiful.
You don't know what I'm about to say?
I know exactly. It's ranked. Is it ranked 18th on BGG right now?
I actually don't know. It's ranked. No, it's not.
Oh,
so it's not what you think it is.
Interesting.
It's ranked number 28.
Huh?
It's Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Over Scythe, really?
Over Scythe. Yes.
Scythe was going to be one of my honorable mentions because it definitely captures the world. But this one's iconic for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those games that makes me want other games in this world because of how, I mean, again, it's that kind of feeling of they put so much work into this one card that you might not even see in one game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you see like the monsters or the ruins, trying to see if they have a close up of one of those things.
Someone was saying to me about this game, like, well, the monsters don't even matter. Like, why would you put all that? I was like, but they do, though, because then I get to tell a story about how I'm fighting a big giant spider or whatever the heck is happening. You know?
Yeah, like, I mean, it has this Euro thing about it where it's like, yeah, you could just put icons there. You could just put scribbles on there if you wanted to, but it's what draws you into that world, right? Even the cards, I mean, every single card, the items and stuff are beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's what made me want to get it. And these are bad photos, but yeah.
No,
they don't do it. They don't do the games we're talking about. I think this is a caveat and a nice blanket sweep for all of them. The pictures that are given on BGG or anywhere, they don't do the game justice. You have to in person see that. Like, that looks good, but in person it's way better.
Yeah. Oh, what an interesting pick. I have to admit, every time I played that game, I really got into the theme because of the art. So, yet this is one of those ones where I was staring at it at the cover stage, going, "Is that?" You know, like it was hard to pick it just for that because it was like, "Oh, well, I'm just immersed in a Indiana Jones type world, and I don't, like." I take it for granted, but the whole package was really well done for that game.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation because it is like the cover is really good. It's nice and stuff, but I actually think the inside of the game has better art than the cover, which is so rare. Usually, you put the very best thing on the cover, right? But yeah, I could get into every single story that is on each one of those cards.
Well, that board too, right? Like having what looks like a sunset off in the distance, and that whole thing that you're going to adventure through, which ends up being your story. Like that's a great.
I mean, just this is a little tiny card, like this big.
It is, yeah.
Look at the artwork on it; it's insane.
That is true.
And I want way more information about this world. I want more games in this world. Not just expansions.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it was mentioned, as we were guessing that it was going to be Scythe. Scythe is the game not put on our list, which is also gorgeous.
Yep.
I have a couple other honorable mentions.
Yeah.
That are very two that are just this one. I just had to own it once I saw the way it was built. Just because the style of it was just making me go, I like that cover. I like that they put the logo right about. This is Michael. I'm trying to remember his name now. Shoot, just want to make sure I get it right. But anyway, it was just a really iconic style game that I almost put on there because I was like, it's so unique. Well, 1 second. I'll get the name. Michael Parla did the art, and the other one, which is again not because of the cover, but the art here is such a cool style. This game is like, I almost wanted to make an entire game of that style once I saw what they did with this game.
There's a very specific like sci-fi artist or something that kind of that style looks like it. I can't remember their name all of a sudden.
Well, and I noticed I went to go look up the cryo artists, and there's 3 artists, so I can't even tell if it's all if it's different people doing that. But
yeah,
this is a very hard category to pick because you could go anywhere with it, right?
What was the first one you just held up with the animals?
Bamuntu.
How's that play? I don't know that one.
I actually have not played it.
Just got it for the art.
I literally bought it because I was like, this is just...
Put you on the spot. What's the back of the box look like?
Oh, that's a good... we could do an entire show of like good back of boxes.
Yeah, we could actually.
We could do an entire series of bad back of boxes.
Oh my god! By the way, look at all these.
I have the number one for that.
All this stuff.
Oh wow!
Oh,
I gotta play this now. This might be on TrainCon. Okay,
yeah.
Here's what it looks like.
Okay, ooh, tiles and stuff. Nice.
All right, we gotta get into this one. I didn't.
There you go. Move to another tile based on tile you start in.
Okay.
Okay.
It's chunky pieces. I'm already,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Nice.
All right. But I told Michael, I said, that's a great cover. And when you make a great cover, it just pops and makes that game go off the shelf. So it worked for me.
I had two honorable mentions, which was Takedo. I love
That's a good one.
I love the style of it. I love that it's all in white. So many other board games have come out since then. The kind of
really like games that are framed in white. I think that's a great idea.
Yes. Takedo has such vivid colors. I've been wanting to paint my minis because I have the collector's edition thing.
Oh, nice, yeah.
But I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to paint them as vividly as the artwork is.
Oh,
no. And the other one is Abyss.
Okay,
that's another one
that James mentioned that I was like an easy pick because they did 3 covers and there was no words.
5.
Oh, they did 5? Okay, there was no words on the cover. What an amazing idea that was. Just art. That's all it was.
Yep.
So I almost picked Abyss for that reason, but then I figured both of you would pick Abyss. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's weird because I think they now make it with the title on the cover.
Yeah.
But when it first came out, it was a bold choice not to have the title on the cover. It was amazing. And you didn't know, say, if you were like ordering it online or something, you didn't know what face you were getting. Luckily, I like the face I got. But or if you just went to a game store,
Right.
Who is the artist for that one? Oh,
wow. That's a good question. I have it up here. Let's see. Artist is Xavier Colette. Oh, I believe he also did the Seasons expansion.
Oh, wow. Mysterium, Dixit.
Mysterium, the new Mysterium, the American Mysterium. I'm also surprised Dixit didn't make it to any of our lists because that's such a...
It's very iconic, and there are games that you could list for art, like Canvas. There's other ones where it's like, well, okay, that whole game was an art vehicle,
Yeah, Canvas is beautiful too.
Xavier Colette did work on Seasons.
I'm using my phone.
He worked on
instead of my camera on my computer. I'm using my phone. It's a Mac computer, but the camera doesn't really look good, so I'm using my phone, and it looks better.
He worked on the expansion for Seasons, but the style looks like it's perfect with it.
Like it's right in there, yeah.
Mike, did you have a honorable mention?
A couple. Scythe, obviously, that cover alone, right? Like just that the juxtaposition of the mechs and the farmers, it's beautiful. Dice Forge was I didn't know if I was going to talk about Seasons or Dice Forge if it came up.
Mm-hmm.
I love Dice Forge for the same reasons I love Seasons. The cards, the art on the cards, the way the main board is laid out with the different islands, or not islands, but the different sections. I love the way that one looks. And then Seasons, and then Art Society. I game quite literally about art and the way they make the art that but give it that little bit of like modern, like whatever, we're gonna make fun of it or give it a little twist or something. Like it's an easy game. It's a beautiful game. I mean, the production value of that is like they put felt on the insert, but all of those all the bits are all pieces of art. Most of them, I believe, if not all of them, are famous pieces of art. So yeah, those are the, and there's definitely a few artists listed on that one.
Another really good one. Oh my god.
And Garden's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Eric had mentioned Merchants of the Dark Road as well.
Yep.
Yep.
Another I think that one's behind. Is that one? That one's right here.
Another one Matt worked on.
And also, since you're so close to it, Asking for Trouble should be on the list because the whole mission to do all orange.
Yeah, there's the correct way to have the new version of it with the trouble
upside down.
If those forgot what the asterisk was.
Other way, and then the other.
Yeah.
I have one more honorable mention, which is, I mean, seriously.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh well, like I said at the top, I mean, Sandar's art is just amazing.
Yeah.
The crazy thing, I'll say this about Sandar as well, because of course, I follow her on Facebook and all that stuff, and every now and then a piece of artwork will pop up. And I'm like, "Ooh, who's doing this?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's her," but it's this totally other. She's doing some dragon thing that looks realistic, and it doesn't look like the other version. It's versatile again. She's all over. She can do any style. It's amazing.
She's a little bit frustrated because, and I saw she just had an article go in Senate magazine, and she kind of laments in that article that she's gotten pigeonholed into cute and cozy, and she's like, I want to do a horror game, and so we talk about that sometimes. Her and I was like, we're gonna come up with a horror game for you. Don't worry, we're gonna get there. And she's like, now worried no one's gonna want it. I was like, no, it's fine. We're still gonna get there.
That's great. You found a good one with that, and that was just spot on. Beautiful.
She just put out one recently that had like I don't know what it was attached to, but like a mermaid kind of thing, like one of her pieces of art. And
she does great. I actually have two pieces of art of hers in my house framed. One of them is a lava mermaid, and another one is this like ghost pirate ship. And it's just like those are neither of her two main categories.
Yeah. She also just did the BGG art thing for Tichu.
Yeah, the Tichu,
which is amazing.
Yeah,
it looks way better than anything that's ever been done for Tichu before.
That series is really great because you just see the reinterpretation. Yeah. You see what I mean. Since we're talking about Mr. Cuddington, Mr. Cuddington's, I think their interpretation of Quacks of Quedlinburg is one of my absolute favorite pieces of art. The way they took that and took it a different direction.
Bosley's Pandemic is really good too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's one of the greatest. I mean, there are games out there that are like, art, who cares about it? Like, but that is what it brings you in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it definitely, like you said, there's a lot of games where I just bought it because of the art, right? But when a game is great and the art is great and it sings together, that's how you get on. That's why, Mike, all these are higher on the list than what you were talking about, right? On the BGG list, it's because when you get both of those things singing together, you get more people buying it, so more people can vote for it on the list or thumbs it up or whatever, it gets it up there. And then again, it's a great game. So yeah, nothing wrong with putting good art on stuff.
Nope.
Decorate Whisperwood.
What was that?
Okay, fine. We'll decorate Whisperwood.
You're gonna put some art on there. Something like that would be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's our list, and we're sticking to it. Anything else we want to? I already put you through the torture of making your own Avengers and fighting them.
That was good. That was fun.
If you did miss that part, that was fun. If you're a Marvel fan, go back and check that out. What do we need to say to right before we say goodbye?
I'll see you on the rundown on Wednesday.
Nice.
It's true. if you miss Duels, you can go and back it. It's on. We talked about it on many episodes, so I can't imagine any of our watchers don't know what it is. But the links on the details of this.
One of the I will say this interesting factoid about it, which is that it's the tiniest game that we've ever made.
Sure.
And we are ordering the most copies of it out of the gate of any of the games we've made. Just really shocks me.
Wow.
But that's how many people wanted to get in on Duels. So
it's really, I mean, we're playing it next week. Now that we've been talking about it so much, I want to play. We don't have a guest, so we're gonna play it next week.
Okay.
But it's. I mean, this is not me fanboying because you guys are on the show. I've said this. I said it in person to I think Chris and Brad at the gathering when I'm looking at what it looks like. It's a beautifully done game. It's smart. It's intuitive. It's really well done. And the aesthetics and the components that Cardboard Alchemy does at such a level, even though this is a small game, it's shining. I mean, it's just the tactile nature of the components and the bag and the box and the clasp. Everything about it is it's through the roof.
Thank you. I mean, the funny thing about because we're making it right now and it is challenging. It's probably also one of the most challenging games we've ever done because just every little there's actually magnets in the board and there's the wooden holders that we're doing and there's the, like you said, the clasp and all the things. But we were trying to get the insert figured out and because we added the wooden holders during the campaign and that changed the way the insert could be done. And Sindara was painting the insert and we're repainting the insert and everything else like that. And then Manny said something like, he's like, no, that's not acceptable. That's going to cause the cards to get damaged. And we were like, okay, we have to rethink the insert. And it's just every part of that production I thought was going to be like, oh, it's just a small little game. It's a piece of cake. This game. No, it's interesting how they are always gotta put in the time.
Yeah. Well, also, like when you say that it's the smallest game you've done, I don't want, for those that are listening to this in the future or whatever, I don't want them to think that it's a tiny game. That package, it packs a punch. What goes on in that game, the decisions you have to make on, especially when the dual dragons come out and you got to think of who I want to trigger. All right, this one's going to let me do this. I can put it here and trigger a Jason or move a J. There's a lot in that game that, I mean, it's a good one. It's a well thought out, well balanced punch of a game. It's not small it's a small box, but man, it's good.
Did Chris tell you the story of we were at KublaCon and we just had it out on a table and we weren't hosting it. We were just like anyone could try it, anyone could play it while we were like showing some people Whisperwood and stuff like that. And it was packed. The entire time it was packed. So we went off to dinner and some people were playing it. And I said, well, I'll just come back after dinner and like pack it up. Right. So it was 8 o'clock and I came back to see, oh, there's a different couple playing it. So I'll come back at 8:30. There was a different group playing it. I came back at 9. More people were playing it. I was like, all right, I'll get it at 9:30. 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12. At 12:30, I was like, I gotta take this game. Give me this game back.
Amazing.
People were still going. So I don't know. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Well, same thing at Gamma. I remember seeing you at Gamma this year, and every time I saw you, I saw that game out so often being played by people. And I know you're, at Gamma, you're trying to push it and you're showing off to content creators and everything. But every time I turned around, I saw that game somewhere and I'm like, I got to know more about it. And then looking at it at Gathering and looking at the product that's being put together, although it is a small box, the thoughtfulness that you do as a company in the games is still present in that small box of a game. I mean, the art's great, the components are great, but man, it punches you in the face so well. Like it feels good. That game, that punch feels so. The choice. It's every time you pull a thing, there's a choice you have to make, and it's like, every choice matters in that thing, and it looks like it doesn't matter, and everything matters because you're setting up somebody for something else. It's crazy.
Why did we not get Mike to put a quote on the page? It punches you in the face so
And
well.
it feels good. It's a good punch in the face. No, it really is. I mean, I can't get enough of that one. It's super fun. It's another great game.
By the way, speaking of art, have we officially released that artwork that's behind you, Peter?
No, this artwork is for a game to come.
Yeah, I just realized, like, I'd been looking at it for a while, so I didn't think about it. But I was like, are you supposed to have that behind you?
Well, it is. I'm trying to like figure out if I could get some of the other stuff that's going on here. It's got. Let's see if I can get out of the way.
Is that a mural?
It's a giant banner in the office. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I could come bar over here. Sorry.
I want to know. What
Yeah,
that
you're
picture
only
is,
looking
or-
at like 10% of it. It's
Yeah,
huge.
Get it all in there.
Yeah.
But if you, because there's there's dragons down here and there's more dragons over there. So
Is that going
Anyway,
to be on display at your first booth at PAX?
you know what this might be.
Hmm.
What we're showing at PAX is definitely some Whisperwood, and we're going to have duels there, but also with any luck, we'll have the sequel to Flamecraft, which is Flamebound, with some art behind it at the show as well. Chris is working on it, so Chris just gotta,
So it'll be good despite that. Don't worry about it.
So since we saw a little bit of the art behind Peter and Peter kind of spoiled it, I assume we can get a little bit more from Chris down the road, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if confirmed, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yep.
That's adorable.
That is great. What is that little orange creature? What is it?
So that is a cowl.
Okay.
So these are little critters that the dragons find when they go out of town. They find these cowls, and they're up in a tree trying to signal the cowls and get them to come down. So yeah, Sandara basically has this whole world out there. Like when the dragons go outside, they find waterfalls and caves, and they find different creatures and different dragon types that they've never met, and they're searching for their elder dragons where they came from. Basically, they're trying to figure out where they came from, and they run into all manner of creatures, which she's going to have a lot of fun putting out there.
And I can hope that there will be a plushie of those cowls.
Might be.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know what to make plushies of next, because honestly, there's just too many, there's too many of these things.
You know what's kind of funny about that is there's a shop in Flamecraft, right?
Yes.
That houses them as plushies.
Yeah, there's a shop where we kind of teased some of the Flamebound critters before they were a thing. And then on the latest Kickstarter, we revealed that, we put a shop from Flamebound into Flamecraft's expansion. We also pointed out some of the spoilers and the Easter eggs that Sandar's been kind of leaking in there as we go. So
it's like you've thought about this
a little bit. We've been thinking about where the dragons go for a long time. Like after we get the whole world built out, then I can see eventually get into RPG where people want to play in that world.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot more to discover.
Because when you say, like, when we talk about art, and sometimes people say, like, what's your favorite art, or what's a world you want to live in, there are certain worlds you would never list, and Flamecraft is one that you would list.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Like there's certain things where you're like, oh, Mission Catastrophe, really great art, but I wouldn't want to be in that universe at that moment because you'd be blowing up.
Yeah, I don't want to be on that ship.
Right? Scythe maybe, but maybe not.
Yeah, Scythe is beautiful art, but I don't want to live in that world.
Yeah.
It looks cold.
Whereas Flamecraft, I think, isn't always, because nothing bad ever happens. So
yeah.
There goes Tokyo.
Hi, Luca. Come to say goodbye to us?
He wants to know more about this board game.
Oh,
that's a fun one.
Oh no, there goes Tokyo from Scott Rogers.
Yeah.
That's a
great
one. He's doing another. He's doing another one. If you haven't seen, I'm in. Anything Scott does, I'll do.
Called,
He's doing a new one.
I do my own stunts.
Yeah, that one.
Have you played that one yet, Peter?
I have not,
No.
but it's rolling meeples to get them to land on their, different sides or whatever.
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we can say goodbye with Luca there.
Bye.
Good timing. You came.
Thanks for coming on, Peter.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Bye, Peter. Bye, Chris. Bye, Luca. Bye, Dad.
Yeah, Peter, always a pleasure. Glad we connected. It's been too long. I mean,
Bye, Luca. Bye, Dad.
saw you in April, but it seems like it was forever ago.
Yeah. Here's to great art in games. 100%.
Yep.
It's good
More
time.
of it.
All right.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Thanks, everybody.
Cool. See you soon. Say bye.